Chapter 1421. Lin Yan told Mo Shuyun regretfully, "It's a loss. Qi Feng applied for leave and didn't come today." The corners of Mo Shuyun's mouth twitched. "Goddess, that's enough. I think we have already earned 100 million. This was the first time Luzern had found Sun Xuan pleasing to the eye. "Rascal, you're smart this time. You've done us a huge favor." How could Luzern not be happy? Yeva had personally trained with the team. This was something that couldn't be exchanged for. After all, there were too few teams that could compete with WZ. There were only one or two. One was the GD team that dominated the summit, and the other was the veteran team, Falcon. These two teams were competitors, and they were wary of each other. It was impossible for them to train together. Sun Xuan looked smug. "Of course. Since when am I not smart?" Soon, all the cars were in position, including Michaud, who had rushed over after buying water. WZ's car was silver, while Aurora's car was red. The moment the gun was fired, all the cars sped away from the starting point and transformed into streaks of silver and red light. They couldn't see the gap between them in a straight line, but the gap between them widened at the first turn, the second turn, and the third turn. Zhou Yu, Jing Shiran, and Xiao Haiqing watched as the cars got further and further away. In the end, they could only see the exhaust fumes of the cars. Sob, 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 this is too cruel. In the future, they could brag about how they had been defeated by the four gods on the track. Now that they thought about it, they felt that it was worth it. Mo Shuyun could vaguely see the rear of Michaud's car. However, after a turn, he was left behind. So this was the gap between them and the top racers. After he had made it to the first level of the international competition, he had been smug about it. This level of skill was nothing compared to the top racers. He wondered how Lin Yan and Yun Xian were doing. Michaud and Yun Xian were chasing after them. The competition was intense. After a turn, Yun Xian overtook Michaud once again and sped up to catch up with Sun Xuan. Sun Xuan noticed that Michaud had turned into Yun Xian. He felt as though he was facing a formidable enemy. F***CK. It would be embarrassing if he lost to junior brother. Just as Sun Xuan was holding his breath, intending to stop Yun Xian no matter what, Yun Xian's car overtook him at an almost impossible angle, right at the edge of the bend. He was overtaken. Holy shit. Sun Xuan was heartbroken at that moment. Albert entered the turn at such a high speed? Wasn't that Master's ultimate technique? They hadn't even had the time to learn. But little junior brother had already learned it? He wanted to cry for 3 days and 3 nights. "Master, you're biased." Lin Yan could sense that her disciples had improved by leaps and bounds in the past few years. The distance between her and them was getting shorter and shorter, and Butcher was sticking to her relentlessly. This time, Lin Yan finally felt like a real competition. The roar of the car engine resounded through the stadium. The red car roared and accelerated forward, as if it was shouting, "Come on. Whoever loosens their grip on the accelerator is a dog." As Lin Yan activated the hell mode, the silver car followed closely behind her. Its tires scraped against the ground, sending sparks flying everywhere. She wished she had wings on her car. F***CK. "Master, don't be like this. We haven't seen each other for 3 years. Can't you be more gentle?" End of chapter. Chapter 1422. The match was over. By the time Mo Shuyun and the others reached the finish line, Lin Yan had already gotten out of the car. How is it? Are you alright?" Mo Shuyun and the others asked with concern. Sun Xuan wailed indignantly, it's too miserable. It's too miserable. Simply inhumane." Mo Shuyun looked as though he had expected this to happen. He scurried over to Lin Yan and Yun Xian and comforted them. "It's okay, goddess. Don't be too discouraged. After all, the other party is WZ. It's inevitable that you will be tortured." Lin Yan was speechless. Who said that she had been tortured? Lang Mang, King, Butcher, and Sun Schworen, brother, there's something wrong with your ability to understand. The one being abused isn't your goddess, it's us. However, even though they were being abused miserably, everyone's eyes were shining with unprecedented light. Lu Sun, who was at the side, was overjoyed when he saw these brats who were usually arrogant being abused. He quickly ran over to make an appointment for the next round. Why don't we have a few more rounds? Mo Shuyun was horrified. Again? Hadn't he tortured them enough? Was he determined to help Michaud get back at him? That was too ruthless. Sure. Lin Yan shrugged nonchalantly. Zhou Yu and the others didn't dare to step forward anymore. They hurriedly waved their hands. Sister Yan, I don't think we can go together. Let's go to the track next door. They had already felt what it felt like to be hit by a dimensional reduction. They had already seen the world, so they didn't need to be abused anymore. Just as Mo Shuyun was about to speak, his phone rang. He immediately looked as if he had been saved. Oh my goddess, I have to take a call. You guys go ahead. Don't worry about me. With that, Mo Shuyun slipped away. In the lounge, Mo Shuyun looked at the caller ID on his phone screen with a complicated expression. KNT team manager Xiao Yu. Back then, Xiao Yu had personally removed his name from the team, and they had never contacted each other again. Why would he call him now? Mo Shuyun lit a cigarette and answered the call. Hello. Hey, Shuyun. We haven't talked for a long time. How have you been? Xiao Yu's cordial voice came from the other end of the phone. It was completely different from his previous sarcastic attitude. Mo Shuyun furrowed his brows. Is something the matter, Manager Xiao? Hee, I do have something to do. Are you busy now? Let's find a place to have a meal together. My treat. Xiao Yu invited. I'm pretty busy. I'm training with my teammates. Let's talk over the phone, Mo Shuyun said. Hey, I know that Captain Mo is a busy person now, but you still have time to have a meal. After all, you came from my KNT team. Aren't you going to give Brother Xiao face? Xiao Yu's tone sounded a little unhappy. Mo Shuyun's lips curled into a cold smile. Back then, he had erased all of his achievements, and even forced him to be removed from the team. But now, it seemed like he had been given a huge favor. Manager Xiao, there's no point in saying this now. How did you treat me in the past? Have you forgotten it so quickly? If you have something to say, just say it. I don't have time to beat around the bush with you, Mo Shuyun said bluntly. He didn't want to waste any more time with him. Xiao Yu was silent for a while, but then he said in an incomparably flattering tone, Oh, Shuyun, look at you. It was so long ago, but you still remember it. I had no choice back then. You also know that he has a bit of a background, so everyone had to support him. Who knew that he was such a weakling? Good night, the update is over. Smooch, end of this chapter. Chapter 1423. Xiao Yu quipped, Shuyun, you're the best. Not only did you make it to the international level, but you also made it to the first level. Your future is limitless, Mo Shuyun quipped, are you done? Xiao Yu was afraid that Mo Shuyun would hang up the phone impatiently, so he got straight to the point. Hey, I'll be straightforward then. Shuyun, no matter how good the cars outside are, they're still outsiders. It's not as good as home. If you're working for an outsider, why don't you return to KNT? I can promise you that we will give you all the resources to ensure that you make it to the first level of the international level. You don't have to worry about money. Just name the price. We will pay for the transfer fee and compensation. Mo Shuyun sneered coldly. So they were here to poach him. Back then, they had belittled him and chased him away like a piece of trash. Now that he had made it to the first level of the international level, they were trying to use him to boost KNT's reputation. Outsiders? Other than the Aurora team, everyone else was an outsider to him. Only the Aurora team was his home. He could betray anyone in this life, but not his goddess. you want to poach me? Brother Xiao, what price are you offering? Mo Shuyun chuckled softly. When Xiao Yu heard that there was hope, he immediately said, 5 million a year. How about it? Is this price sincere enough? Mo Shuyun sneered. Add another 2 zeros and I will consider it. What? What? 500 million? Are you kidding me? Xiao Yu was fuming with rage. He had chased Mo Shuyun away because he had realized that he was no longer of any use to him. Who would have thought that in less than a year, this lad would jump to the first level of the international level? He had been scolded by his boss. Now, he had no choice but to lower his head and spend a huge sum of money to hire him. In the end, Mo Shuyun had played him like a monkey. Mo Shuyun ignored Xiao Yu, who was fuming with rage. He hung up and extinguished the cigarette in his hand. Sun Xuan hugged Lin Yan and cried when he saw that Mo Shuyun and Zhou Yu had left. He and Yun Xian had almost reached the finish line at the same time and had almost lost. Coach! How could you do this to me? You're so biased that there's no end to it. Albert sped into the corner. I want to learn too. Sun Xuan tugged at Lin Yan's sleeves and began to sway. Lin Yan replied, you can't learn it. Sun Xuan, why? Lin Yan replied, this method isn't suitable for you guys. Otherwise, I would have taught you. Sun Xuan said, Master, you're lying. Lin Yan was speechless. Why would I lie to you? You know how to do it too, but I didn't teach Yun Xian anything. Don't you know how to teach according to his aptitude? Are you the master or am I? After dealing with Sun Xuan, Lu Xun ran over. Lu Xun rubbed his hands with an eager expression. Hee, darling, there's something I want to talk to you about. Lin Yan could tell what he was thinking just by looking at his expression. Brother Sun, we're already so familiar with each other. I know what you're trying to say. There's no need for that. I'm doing fine with the Aurora team now. Lang Mang and the others are already leading their own teams. It doesn't matter whether I come back or not. Lu Xun was so anxious that he stomped his feet. Why wasn't it affected? This would determine who would be the champion of the tournament of the Apex. Initially, he had been worried that Yeva had not participated in international competitions in recent years and that her skills had deteriorated. However, after the competition, his worries had been dispelled. Chapter 1424. Lu Xun pressed on. Darling, don't be so heartless. Are you sure you don't want to reconsider? As you know, WZ can provide you with better support than Hua Nation. Lin Yan grinned and shrugged. I understand, but I'm still Chinese. Lu Xun knew that there was nothing he could do after hearing Lin Yan's words. He sighed helplessly. Sigh, Lin Yan wanted to say something, but she fell silent again. After some hesitation, she asked, how has Master been all these years? After she had withdrawn from the competition, she hadn't known how to face her master. She hadn't dared to contact him all these years. Luther replied, don't worry, he's doing well. It's just that his health isn't as good as before. He rarely interferes with the team. Although he doesn't say anything, he still can't calm down. After all, we could have won the championship back then. Lin Yan pursed her lips, looking solemn. Master and the boss of the GD team had been rivals for a lifetime. Lin Yan could have fulfilled his wish and stood at the top of the competition. However, she had fallen midway. Why couldn't she calm down? At Cloud Manor, after Lin Yan left, Pei Yuqing began to work in the study. Pei Qian and Pei Li exchanged a glance before they entered Pei Yuqing's study. Pei Yuqing raised his head from the pile of documents and saw the two kids sitting on one side of the sofa. Given his two sons' personalities, they would never want to be in the same space as him when Lin Yan wasn't around. According to normal circumstances, the two of them should be fighting now that Lin Yan wasn't around. Pei Yuqing put down the documents in his hands, thinking that they had something to say. What's the matter? Pei Li sat upright. Nothing. I want to sit here. Pei Qian swung his short legs. I'm fine too. I want to sit here too. Pei Yuqing was speechless. Pei Yuqing fell silent for a moment before he said, if you're bored, you can ask Xing Chen to take you out to play. Xing Chen, who was standing by the door, was speechless. He wanted him to take the two little devils out to play. Was he going to take them out to play or be played by them? Brother Yu, please spare me. Pei Li was expressionless. It's fine here. It's fine. Pei Qian snorted. It's fine here. Pei Yuqing was speechless. Pei Yuqing didn't know what his sons were up to, but he didn't pay much attention to them. If they wanted to stay here, so be it. Pei Yuqing was working at his desk, while Pei Li was meditating on the couch. Pei Qian was wandering around the study, flipping through the books. 2 hours passed quickly, and a beeping sound rang out. Pei Li's alarm had rung. Pei Li immediately opened his eyes and looked at his father, who was immersed in his work. Uncle, it's time. You should rest. Pei Qian immediately said, Uncle, it's time for you to rest. Pei Yuqing replied without looking up, later. His tone was extremely perfunctory, and it was obvious that he did not take their words seriously. Pei Li frowned. It's break time now. You must rest for 10 minutes before you can continue working. It's best if you take a walk outside. Pei Qian, you have to rest for 10 minutes or take a stroll. Pei Yuqing finally raised his head and glanced at his eldest son and his youngest son. He was amused. Are you guys worried about me? End of chapter. Chapter 1425. Pei Li's expression changed instantly. Don't flatter yourself. I don't care about you. Pei Qian replied, don't flatter yourself. Who cares about you? Pei Yuqing adjusted his glasses. Let's go out and play then. The two little fellows hadn't expected that they would fail to complete their mother's task. Hence, they didn't look too pleased. After a moment of silence, Pei Li whipped his phone out of his pocket and dialed his mother's number. He turned on the speaker. Lin Yan's voice came through the phone. Hello, baby. Pei Yuqing stiffened when he heard her voice. Pei Li replied, sister. Pei Qian replied, mommy. Pei Li replied, according to your schedule, uncle should be resting and going out for a walk. Pei Qian replied, but uncle is still working. The two little guys cooperated with each other and reported the case to the police. Pei Yuqing was speechless. He hadn't expected that the two little fellows would give him a taste of his own medicine. His expression was indescribable. Lin Yan was enraged when she heard him. What did you say? You lied to me again. Pass the phone to him. Pei Yuqing looked helpless as he pinched his temples. He removed his glasses and took the phone from his son. Xiaoyan, Lin Yan replied, Pei Yuqing. What did you promise me? So when I wasn't around, you didn't take a good rest like I said? Pei Yuqing replied, ahem. No, I just forgot. I'll go now. Lin Yan replied, turn on the video call. I'll watch you rest. Pei Yuqing replied, okay. Xing Chen and Xing Imo, who were standing by the door, looked at each other with sympathy. They seemed to have learned some life-saving skills, hence, the two little fellows escorted their father for a walk. They insisted on walking for 10 minutes without missing a second. It could be said that he was very responsible. Pei Li ended the video call when they were done. Is that enough? Pei Yuqing glanced at his sons. Pei Li glanced at the time on his phone. You still have an hour to work. It's dinner time in an hour. Don't forget. Pei Qian replied, don't forget. Pei Yuqing replied, thank you for reminding me. Pei Qian glared at Pei Li angrily. Why do you keep interrupting me? Pei Li glanced at his brother and ignored him. Pei Qian, who had been ignored, was about to speak when he suddenly saw the phone in Pei Li's hand and the little crab hanging on it. He had just realized that Pei Yuqing's phone had a similar crab-shaped accessory. Moreover, Pei Li seemed to cherish this little crab very much. Pei Li sensed Pei Qian's gaze and stuffed his phone into his pocket. He asked warily, "What are you looking at?" Pei Qian snorted and stared at the colorful phone and the silly little crab. He said in disdain, "What? Are you afraid that I'll snatch them? To actually use such a thing, how childish." Pei Li touched his phone and the little crab pendant and said slowly, "These are from my mom." Pei Li's eyes widened. "What? Mommy gave it to him. No wonder she was so cute." "Me? That's right. Yes. Yes." Pei Li seemed to notice the killing intent in Pei Qian's eyes. He narrowed his eyes and said, "If you want to fight, I'll keep you company." Pei Qian clenched his fists and tried to calm himself down. No. He couldn't fight. I can't beat him. Good morning, the update is over, moi, end of chapter. Chapter 1426. Pei Qian snorted coldly. Fight. All you know is to fight. Do you think I'm a violent maniac like you? Xing Chen and Xing Imo were speechless. Don't doubt me. You guys are the same. The rest of the time passed peacefully. Xing Chen and Xing Imo were extremely grateful for the lady boss's wisdom. She had managed to subdue the three villains with just a few words. In the study, Pei Qian was so bored that his eyes lit up. A second later, he pricked up his ears and vanished like a bolt of lightning. Mommy, Lin Yan had just gotten out of the car when Pei Qian pounced on her and hugged her thighs. He began to cry. Wah! Mommy, he cried like a pear blossom in the rain. Lin Yan was dumbfounded by the little fellow's crying. Qian, what happened? Who bullied you? Pei Qian sobbed and sobbed as beads of tears rolled down his cheeks, drenching Lin Yan's pants. What's going on? Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yuqing and Pei Qian and asked, Did someone bully Qian? Pei Yuqing replied, No. Pei Li replied, No. Pei Qian's eyes widened as he stared at Pei Li and Pei Yuqing's phones. There was a crab hanging on each of their phones, and they cried even louder. Wah! Yes. They bullied Qian. Lin Yan coaxed him and asked, Huh? Did Brother Xiaoli and Uncle bully you? Lin Yan didn't think that was possible, but the little fellow didn't want to lie. How did they bully you? Asked Lin Yan. Pei Qian was about to answer when he realized that there was an identical one hanging on Lin Yan's phone. He had stirred up a hornet's nest. Pei Qian was like Meng Jianghu crying. Crab. Crab. Wah! Lin Yan was stunned. Crab. What crab? All right, Qian, don't cry. Tell me. Pei Qian was heartbroken as he pointed at the crab hanging on Lin Yan's phone. Brother Xiaoli, Uncle, and Mommy have it too. I don't have it. Air. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Just because of this? It's just a small pendant. I have another one. Shall I give it to you later? Stop crying. Pei Qian's eyes sparkled as he hugged Lin Yan's leg and raised his head. Really? Did Mommy give it to me? Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? Lin Yan realized that she had been led astray by Pei Qian. She had called herself Mom, but she didn't bother to correct herself. Pei Qian obviously realized this and was overjoyed. His crying immediately stopped. Lin Yan added, Oh yeah, I'll buy you a phone too. You can call me if you need anything. Thank you, Mom. Mommy is the best. Pei Qian hugged his thigh as he glanced at his brother. Did you see that? Learn it. Fight, all you know is to fight all day long. Just by looking at Pei Qian's expression, Pei Li knew what he was thinking. He only gave him a look of disdain. After coaxing Pei Qian, Lin Yan texted Xiaoyao. She immediately sent the link to purchase the children's phone of the same model as Pei Li's. Xiaoyao. When Xiaoyao received Lin Yan's message, he clicked on it and saw that it was a payment link. Hence, he replied with a question mark. Lin Yan typed, I bought a children's phone for Qian Qian. Reimburse me. You don't have to pay for the pendant either. Consider it a discount. Xiao Yao was speechless. Her son had bought a phone, but she wanted him to reimburse her. Whose son was he? Lin Yan typed, what's wrong? You have to take responsibility for the trouble you caused. Xiao Yao was speechless. He felt that the child's father should be responsible. End of this chapter. Chapter 1427. Late at night, Pei Qian opened his eyes eagerly. He craned his neck to show off to his brother, who was sleeping on the other side of his mother. Stop pretending. Wake up. Are you convinced? The little guy's eyes sparkled brightly in the dark. Pei Li opened his eyes and replied expressionlessly, why would I be convinced? Did you cry enough? Pei Qian ignored Pei Li's sarcasm. What's wrong with crying? Why do I have to resort to violence when I can cry? Let me tell you, you can't be like this. You're like a taciturn gourd. You're not cute at all. Mommy won't like such a kid. Pei Li fell silent for a moment. What makes me cute? Pei Qian couldn't help but show off. Then you've asked the right person. For example, when you talk, eat, say eat, sleep, take a nap, take a bath. Repeat words can greatly increase your cuteness. Pei Li looked as though he had wasted his time listening to him. You're like a retard. If his mother hadn't been sleeping in the middle, Pei Qian would have reached out to him. He lowered his voice and said, you're the retard. Pei Li asked, anything else? Pei Qian replied proudly, of course. Being cute is a skill. For example, when you send a message to mommy, don't use a full stop. Instead, use a wave. Don't send a smiling emoji. Send a shy emoji. Pei Li asked, what's the difference? Pei Qian shook his head sympathetically. TSK. You don't even know this? You're not cute at all. Pei Li replied, I don't need that. Pei Qian replied proudly, that's why you'll never be able to defeat me and become mommy's favorite child. Pei Li sneered coldly. Mommy's favorite child? You're delusional. Pei Qian flared up and almost lunged at Pei Li, who are you calling delusional? I am. Pei Li replied, you're not. Pei Qian replied, I am. If I'm not, then are you? Pei Li replied, why not? I am. Pei Qian replied, you might be, so of course I am. Pei Yuqing's temples twitched as he sighed and opened his eyes. He leaned forward to cover Pei Qian and Pei Li with the blanket before he said, if you don't want another competitor, go to sleep. The bodies of the two little fellows immediately stiffened, and they both fell silent. What do you mean by more competitors? Multiple competing children? Was she going to have a second child? Pei Qian was alarmed. You want to have another child with mommy? Pei Li also cast a questioning look at him. Pei Yuqing asked, is there a problem? Pei Li turned his little face and glanced at his father. You're just mom's boyfriend now. Aren't you thinking too far ahead when it comes to giving birth to a child? Pei Qian, that's right, dream on. Pei Li, besides, it's just a boyfriend. He can be replaced at any time. Pei Qian, that's right, we can change at any time. Pei Yuqing raised his eyebrows. You'd better hope that I can be re-elected. Pei Li, why should I? Pei Qian, that's right. Why should I? Pei Yuqing replied, if your mother were still with me, we would already have 2 children. Under normal circumstances, there wouldn't be a need to have another child. Even if we had another child, your status wouldn't be affected much. However, if she fell in love with someone else and married that person, there would be a high chance that she would give birth to another child. Based on the principle of loving the house and its crow, she would probably love the child she had with that person more. Pei Yuqing paused for a moment before he added, there's a saying in China that says that a son's status depends on his father. Pei Li was speechless, Pei Qian was speechless. President Pei, Does your wife know that you're cheating your son? End of this chapter. Chapter 1428. Lin Yan called the police station after she woke up. Hello, may I know if there is any news about the parents of the boy I brought over the day before yesterday? We've checked the latest missing child reports, but there's no news yet. There's still no news? Lin Yan looked doubtful. If a child had gone missing, they would have reported it immediately. Besides, Qian didn't look like an ordinary child. If he had gone missing, there would have been some news. Why hadn't there been any news in 2 days? After hanging up, Lin Yan sent Ling Yu a text message. Lin Yan typed, "Darling, are you free?" Ling Yu typed, "Sister Yan, look for me anytime." Lin Yan typed, "Can you come to Cloud Manor now?" Ling Yu typed, "I'm nearby. I'll be there soon." After she hung up, she glanced at the two little fellows who were eating obediently at the dining table. She sighed heavily. If there was no news from the police station, she would try asking Ling Yu. It wouldn't be difficult for her to find Qian's parents. Pei Yucheng, who sensed that something was wrong with Lin Yan, walked over and poured her a glass of milk. "What's wrong?" Lin Yan shook her head. "Nothing. I just called the police station, but there's no news of Qian's parents. That's why I wanted to ask Ling Yu for help. However, I can't bear to part with Qian after he finds his parents." Lin Yan paused and added, "Xiaoli is just taking care of them temporarily. Sooner or later, he will leave. I can't bear to part with him." The thought of the two kids leaving made Lin Yan feel even more dejected. Pei Yucheng fell silent, as though he didn't know what to say. He merely hugged Lin Yan to comfort her. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. It should be Ling Yu. I'll go and take a look. Lin Yan hurried to open the door. Indeed, it was Ling Yu. Xing Chen and Cheng Imo, who were guarding the door, were puzzled when they saw Ling Yu. "Ling Yu, why are you here? What happened?" Xing Chen asked anxiously. "Sister Yan asked me to come," replied Ling Yu. "Sister Yan asked you to come?" Xing Chen was puzzled. Lin Yan coughed softly. "Ling Yu, sorry for making you come all the way here. I need your help." "What is it?" "Sister Yan, feel free to tell me." "Your problem is my problem," replied Ling Yu readily. "It's not a big deal. Look at the little boy sitting next to Shaoli in the dining room. Did you see him?" Lin Yan gestured for Ling Yu to look at Qian. Ling Yu followed Lin Yan's gaze. In the next second, Ling Yu was stunned when she saw the little fellow beside Pei Li. Wasn't that the little devil, Pei Qian? Ling Yu subconsciously looked at Xing Chen suspiciously. What was going on? She had been out on a mission for the past 2 days and did not know what had happened here. Xing Chen rubbed his nose. "Don't ask me, I don't know anything." Ling Yu coughed softly. "Sister Yan, what do you need my help with?" Lin Yan explained, "His name is Qian. He went missing 2 days ago, so I brought him back temporarily. There hasn't been any news from the police, so I wanted to ask you to help me find his parents." Find his parents. Ling Yu studied Lin Yan intently before she glanced at Pei Yucheng. She was at a loss for words. This was probably the easiest mission she had ever received in her life. End of this chapter. Chapter 1429. This was both the easiest and the most difficult task. She could help this child find his parents immediately, but she didn't dare to say it out loud. Xing Chen stroked his nose, his expression indescribable. "Can I?" Lin Yan pleaded. Ling Yu had no choice but to bite the bullet. I'll try my best." Lin Yan hugged Ling Yu happily. "Thank you so much. I'll treat you to a feast if you find them." Ling Yu coughed softly. There was no need for that. Lin Yan spent the next few days training. There was no news from Ling Yu. Even Ling Yu couldn't find out anything. Weren't Xianxian's parents Chinese? The doorbell interrupted Lin Yan's thoughts. Hello. Good evening, Daddy. Pei Yutong's passionate voice rang out as soon as the door was opened. After leaving Pei Yutong, Pei Nanxiu followed. Lin Yan hurriedly welcomed him. Mr. Pei? You're here too. Come in. Pei Nanxiu was hugging a bouquet of flowers. I was filming overseas and just came back. I heard that you won the championship. Congratulations. Lin Yan was elated. Thank you. It was a gift from her idol. It was worth it to win the international competition. Daddy. I have won too. I have won too. Pei Yutong fished out a carnation from his back mysteriously. Daddy, congratulations. Lin Yan stared at the carnation speechlessly. She was speechless. It was one thing for him to give her a carnation, but there was only one. Lin Yan quipped, can you be more stingy? Pei Yutong rubbed his hands together. I'm trying to emulate you, Daddy. Besides, I've invested all my money in you. I don't have a single cent on me. This flower is all I have. This is all the love I have for you. Lin Yan chuckled. Thank you. Lin Yan had just spoken when she heard a childish voice behind her. Mommy, who is he? Pei Yutong glanced at the unfamiliar child beside Lin Yan and asked, Daddy, who is he? Why was there another child calling Lin Yan Mommy? Pei Qian looked wary. Mommy, why is he calling you Daddy? Pei Yutong was dumbfounded as well. Daddy, why is he calling you Mommy? Lin Yan was speechless. You guys. Too. Enough. Got it. She was about to get dizzy. Pei Nanxiu stood by the side, looking perplexed. What had happened when he hadn't returned for a few days? After entering the room, Lin Yan expended a great deal of effort to explain the situation to both of them. Ahem. Qianqian, Daddy, doesn't mean Daddy. It's also a form of respect. It's a title given to someone who's amazing in a certain field. Lin Yan racked her brains to explain. Only then did the little guy finally feel relieved. It was all Pei Yuqing's fault. He had been so paranoid. This person was already so old, how could he be her son? Pei Yutong's face was still full of shock as he sized up the two kids. Pei Qian and Pei Li were fraternal twins, so they looked different. However, they were born from the same parents, so it was inevitable that there were some similarities between their brows. Pei Yutong felt that something was amiss. Sister-in-law, you must be lying to me. One of them looks like my brother, while the other looks like you. Isn't this too much of a coincidence? Could one of them be my brother's illegitimate son and the other is yours? Lin Yan kicked him. Can your imagination get any bigger? Pei Nanxiu chuckled softly. Actually, they look more like Big Brother and Miss Lin's children. End of this chapter. Chapter 1430. What are you talking about? Pei Yuqing walked out of the study. Lin Yan shrugged. We're talking about our son. Pei Yuqing raised his eyebrows and shot her a suspicious look. Lin Yan grinned. Third young master said that Pei Qian looks like me and Pei Li looks like you. Hence, he suspects that one of them is your illegitimate son and the other is mine. Pei Yuqing was speechless. Mr. Pei said that we might have given birth to him. Ha ha. Lin Yan chuckled. If we really gave birth to him, I would be so happy that I would spread the news all over the world. Why would we hide it? Pei Yuqing's eyes darted to Lin Yan. Pei Qian and Pei Li pricked up their ears when they heard him. Their eyes sparkled with anticipation. What did Mom say? If they were her and Pei Yuqing's son, they would be so happy that they would spread the news all over the world. That way, the whole world would know that they were Mom's children. Suddenly, she realized that Pei Yuqing seemed more pleasing to the eye. It was an illusion. It had to be an illusion. Sister-in-law, the first level of the international competition will start in a few days. I want to watch your competition. Do you have tickets? I didn't manage to get one even though I activated the accelerator. Pei Yutang pressed on excitedly. Lin Yan replied readily, I have some tickets. Since you're a shareholder, I'll give them to you later. Pei Nanshu asked curiously, can I go? Ah. Mr. Pei, do you want to go too? Are you free that day? Lin Yan sounded excited. Pei Nanshu replied, sister-in-law, just call me Nanshu. You don't have to be so formal. Lin Yan coughed. Okay. Nanshu, she wasn't used to being called sister-in-law by her idol. It was an indescribable feeling, as though she had a higher seniority. Don't worry. I can clear my schedule for that day, replied Pei Nanshu. Lin Yan replied happily, sure, I'll reserve one for you too. Just as he finished speaking, a small hand carefully tugged at the corner of his clothes. Pei Li asked tentatively, big sister, can I go? Pei Qian, who hadn't expected that he would be interrupted, widened his eyes in anger. Mommy, I want to go too. Lin Yan scratched her head awkwardly. You guys want to go too? I can, but there will probably be a lot of people that day. It's all right. I'll take them there. Pei Yucheng volunteered to take care of the kids. Are you coming too? Lin Yan knew that he didn't like racing, so she rarely mentioned it to him, let alone invited him to watch a race. Pei Yucheng replied, there's no need to prepare tickets for us. I've already asked Cheng Imo to book 3. Lin Yan was speechless. He had actually booked the tickets in advance. He had even booked tickets for Pei Qian and Pei Li. Pei Qian and Pei Li watched Pei Yucheng's reaction with conflicted expressions. They knew how much Pei Yucheng had objected to his mother's participation in the competition. But now, this man seemed to be a completely different person. No wonder Mom was tricked by him. Pei Yutang replied excitedly, haha. That's great. Sister-in-law, let's go and cheer for you. Lin Yan was startled by his words, but her eyes were filled with warmth. Thank you. In the past, when she competed abroad, she had always been alone. He didn't want his family to worry, so he didn't dare to tell them. This was the first time her family had gone to watch her race and cheer for her. End of this chapter. Chapter 1431. Racing had always been one of the most popular competitions in the world. It was the same in the country. However, the poor results of racers from other countries had made the fans in the country more and more discouraged. It was rare for this year's international competition to be held in China. In addition, the Chinese racers had performed well this time. A total of 10 racers had entered the first level of the international competition, which ignited the enthusiasm of the Chinese fans. Every race was sold out, and tickets for the first level of the international competition were hard to come by. Racer fans from all over the country gathered together. The spectator area was divided into several areas, including the main grandstand, the auxiliary grandstand, and the grassy area. Different areas had different views of the competition. There were 6 large screens above the spectator area, so one could watch the entire competition. The best viewing area was the platinum area, which was located at the top of the grandstand. From this height, one could overlook the entire competition venue. It faced the starting grid, the first turn, the maintenance area, and the awards ceremony stage. One could also watch the racers from a close distance. Lin Yan asked Imo Shuyun to arrange for Pei Yutang and the others to sit together. The 3 Pei brothers had already arrived at the spectator area with the 2 kids. Pei Qian and Pei Li sat between Pei Nanshu and Pei Yucheng, while Pei Yutang sat beside Pei Yucheng. Many celebrities would be there to watch such a large-scale competition, so Pei Nanshu didn't try to hide it. Everyone was a fan, and everyone's attention was on the racers. Pei Yutang picked up a pair of binoculars excitedly. Ha ha ha. This is the first time I'm sitting in such a good seat. I can even see the expressions of the racers. Pei Qian and Pei Li each held a pair of binoculars as they searched for their mother. The main grandstand was divided into the silver, gold, and platinum areas. Most of the seats in the platinum area were occupied by famous people from all walks of life. Other than that, there were internal staff and the family members of the racers. Pei Nanshu had only been sitting for a short while when many fans and people from the industry came over to greet him. "Ah! Mr. Pei. Is it really Mr. Pei?" Two girls exclaimed excitedly, "Sorry to disturb you. Could you please give us an autograph?" "Of course." Pei Nanshu satisfied the two girls' requests. The two girls were very polite. They knew that Pei Nanshu was there to watch the competition, so they didn't disturb him. However, they kept sneaking glances at Pei Yucheng. The man was dressed in casual clothes and wore a pair of gold-rimmed glasses. He held a child's backpack in one hand and a child's water bottle in the other. From time to time, he would reach out to stop the little boy beside him from slipping and falling. He looked like an ordinary father taking his child out for an outing, but his dazzling appearance and noble and aloof temperament made people unable to look away. The gentleness he showed when he was taking care of the child made people's hearts race. They wanted nothing more than to give the child to him. "Ah! Mr. Pei is sitting right in front of me, but I can't help but look at another man in front of him." One of the girls clutched her chest. "Are you talking about the one with the glasses?" "Me too. Me too. Ah. I only took a look. I've already decided on the names of our twins." "Who is that man? Which superstar? Why haven't I seen it before? Hang on. Why does he look so familiar?" The girls seemed to recall something. F***CK. I remember now. He. Isn't he Mr. Pei's brother? The president of JM Corporation, Pei Yucheng? He's the richest person on the list. My hubby, ah. Chapter 1432. Boss. President Pei. It's really you. I thought I was hallucinating. The boss of a local car company stared at Pei Yucheng in shock. He hadn't expected Pei Yucheng to come to such an event. If he hadn't seen Pei Yucheng sitting next to him, he would have thought that his eyes were playing tricks on him. Pei Yucheng nodded slightly. "Boss Lu. President Pei, I didn't expect you to come to watch the competition. I would have arranged a seat for you. Are you here to watch the competition or to inspect?" Boss Lu probed. He felt that Pei Yucheng didn't seem like someone who liked racing. Had he invested in a team? Was that why he was here? Pei Yucheng glanced at Boss Lu and replied unhurriedly, "Family member." Boss Lu was taken aback. Family member? He had no idea which racer Pei Yucheng was related to. Boss Lu was Lane Racing's biggest investor and one of the sponsors of the international competition. Thus, he knew a lot about the racing industry. However, he had never heard of this. That was why he was shocked. Could it be a cousin or cousin of some sort? This was a private matter, after all. Pei Yucheng had no intention of talking about it, so he didn't probe further. He merely smiled and made small talk. "Ah. Oh, I see. I didn't expect President Pei to have such an impressive relative. He entered the first level of the international competition. Impressive." Boss Lu immediately sent a message to Lane Racing's manager to ask about the situation. He wanted to know which racer was related to the Pei family. Soon, Lane Racing replied. None of the three racers had the surname Pei, and none of them were related to the Pei family. The other racers hadn't heard of such a relationship either. Could they be from the light speed team? If he had known this would happen, he would have invested in the light speed team. He would have been able to use this connection to get closer to Pei Yucheng. Pei Yutang burst into laughter as he whispered in Pei Yucheng's ear, "Brother, you're too sarcastic. Boss Lu must be trying to find out which racer is your relative. He would never guess that she is your girlfriend." Suddenly, someone exclaimed in surprise. "Pei Nanshu? Pei Nanshu raised his head and glanced at Wei Shufeng, who was wearing sunglasses. Pei Yutong turned to look at the newcomer. Wei Shufeng? Isn't he one of big sister-in-law's rumored boyfriends? Wei Shufeng removed his sunglasses and looked at Pei Nanshu in surprise. Pei Nanshu, why are you here? Pei Nanshu greeted him. Long time no see. I'm here to watch the competition. Wei Shufeng frowned and muttered, You? Watch the competition? I've never heard that you like racing. Wei Shufeng was an avid racing fan, and he never missed a single race. However, Pei Nanshu's character had nothing to do with racing, so he was surprised to see Pei Nanshu. I came with my family, replied Pei Nanshu. Wei Shufeng, who recognized Pei Yutong and Pei Yucheng, didn't think much of it when he saw them sitting together. He merely stole a few more glances at the two kids sitting between Pei Nanshu and Pei Yucheng. Why did he bring two kids to watch a car race? Make way. Make way. Hurry up and go to your seats. Why are you blocking the way? Qi Shaoyuan urged them. Wei Shufeng and Qi Shaoyuan were seated in front of Pei Nanshu. Qi Shaoyuan's sharp eyes caught sight of Pei Yucheng. Isn't that boss's boyfriend? End of this chapter. Chapter 1433. Qi Shaoyuan had first learned that boss had a boyfriend when he had met the fake Yeva at the press conference. In order to expose the fake Yeva, he had purposely asked her to call Sun Xuan over. Later on, Lin Yan had accidentally revealed that she had a boyfriend. As a loyal fan, how could he not pay attention to such an important matter? However, boss had kept a low profile, so he hadn't been able to discover any traces of this mysterious boyfriend. Until the end of the second level of the international competition, coincidentally, he had been nearby when boss had competed that day. Qi Shaoyuan had successfully attracted Pei Yucheng's attention. As Lin Yan's fanatical fan, Qi Shaoyuan had printed a huge Aurora logo and Lin Yan's name on his shirt. He had also painted Lin Yan's name on his face. He had even prepared a huge banner and a small flag. Qi Shaoyuan noticed that Pei Yucheng was staring at him, so he panicked. Hello, can I have some extra? Pei Yucheng asked in a gentlemanly manner. Qi Shaoyuan, who was overwhelmed by the favor, hurriedly passed the remaining stickers and flags to him. Of course. Of course. Take as much as you want, but I don't have much left. You can have them all. Thank you. Pei Yucheng took the items from Qi Shaoyuan. Pei Qian and Pei Li had been staring at him with sparkling eyes. Pei Yucheng glanced at his sons. Do you want them? Both of them nodded in unison without hesitation. Pei Yucheng picked up 2 red stickers and stuck them on the faces of the 2 little fellows. Pei Yucheng stuck a Lin character on Pei Li's face and a Yen character on Pei Qian's face. Qi Shaoyuan had wanted to remind them that they shouldn't stick the stickers like that. They should stick the Lin character on the left cheek and the Yen character on the right. However, when he saw that both of them seemed to be in harmony, he didn't stop them. He had seen one of them that night, but why was there another one? Pei Yucheng gave 1 flag to Pei Qian and Pei Li and kept 1 for himself. He then gave the rest to Pei Nanshu and Pei Yutong. Pei Yutong waved the flags in his hands, looking indescribable. TSK TSK. This was a man in love. He was willing to do anything for his wife. Pei Yutong glanced at Qi Shaoyuan. The more he looked at him, the more familiar he felt. He exclaimed in surprise, "Ah Lai, it's you." They had met at a meet and greet event organized by the fake Yeva. Qi Shaoyuan had even helped to expose the fake Yeva's true identity. Pei Yutong replied, "Aren't you Yeva's diehard fan?" "How?" "I'm a loyal fan of boss and goddess Lin Yan. There's no conflict," Qi Shaoyuan said matter-of-factly. Pei Yutong grabbed Qi Shaoyuan's hand as though he had found a confidant. "That's right. Me too. Me too. Yeva is my goddess and Lin Yan is my daddy. There is no conflict at all." Wei Shufeng glanced at the 2 of them in disdain. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Pei Nanshu holding the flag. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that something was amiss. "What are you thinking about?" Qi Xiaoyuan asked. Wei Shufeng lowered his voice and said, "I heard that Pei Nanshu had a commercial to shoot today, but he asked his manager to postpone it. He is famous for his professionalism." End of this chapter. Chapter 1434. Wei Shufeng paused before he added, "Based on what I know, he isn't interested in racing at all. Someone offered him a high price for an endorsement deal, but he didn't accept it. He said that he didn't understand the industry and didn't think it was appropriate." Qi Xiaoyuan asked, "So?" Wei Shufeng quipped, "Pei Nanshu, who is so dedicated to his work, actually rejected his job just to watch a competition that he doesn't understand or have any interest in. Don't you think that's weird?" "What's weird? Can you stop beating around the bush?" Wei Shufeng rolled his eyes at him. "Pei Nanshu and Lin Yan have been rumored to be together. Do you understand now?" Qi Xiaoyuan was enlightened. "Are you suspecting that my goddess has something going on with Pei Nanshu? Aren't you thinking too much about it?" "How is that possible?" Wei Shufeng replied, "How do you know that it's impossible? You don't know anything about the entertainment industry." Qi Xiaoyuan almost choked on his breath. How could he not know anything? He knew everything, okay? He just couldn't say it out loud. Dear viewers watching the live stream. And all the fans. Hello, everyone. The first level of the international competition is about to begin. Who will get the precious ticket to the top competition? Let's wait and see. Accompanied by the host's excited voice, the competition officially began. The crowd cheered and cheered. All the racers in the first level of the international competition were divided into groups A, B, and C by drawing lots. The top 3 racers in each group would have to compete again to determine the champion and runner-up of the first level of the international competition. Only the champion and runner-up of the first level of the international competition would qualify for the top competition. Hence, the competition at the first level of the international competition was brutal. Every year, top racers from all over the world would fight to get a spot in the top competition. Up until now, no racer from the entire country had ever qualified for the top competition. Ever since the beginning of racing, the top competition had always been dominated by foreign racers. The Thunderous Sound team was the only team in the country that had almost qualified for the top competition. Ling Yang and a foreign racer had once placed third in the first level of the international competition. However, they hadn't been able to qualify because their total score had been lower than the foreign racers. It was also after that race that Ling Yang became a god. He was regarded as the light of China's racing, the hope of China's racing. Because he had been praised too highly and became too arrogant, Ling Yang's later results were not very good. He did not participate in the International League until he retired for a year. Racing fans still had high hopes for Ling Yang. After all, he was still the holder of the highest result in China. Apart from them, there was another old monster team, the Lightspeed team. The captain of the Lightspeed racing team, Tang Sheng, had once placed 4th in the first level of the international competition. He was also a hot favorite to win the championship and second place in this competition. All 3 groups of matches were being held at the same time, and the entire process was being broadcasted live. Lin Yan was a dark horse who had won the 3rd and 2nd level of the international competition. Everyone had high hopes for her. The cheers on the field were deafening. Group A's competition was the most intense. Ling Yang of the Thunderous Sound racing team and Tang Sheng, the captain of the Speed of Light racing team, were up against the mad dog Michelle Simon of the Falcon racing team. Simon's frequent challenges in Hua Nation had already angered the public. Now, he was completely restrained by Ling Yang and Tang Sheng. End of chapter. Chapter 1435. Both Thunderous Sound and Speed of Light had shown their true abilities this time. They had obviously studied tactics to counter Simon. Although they weren't from the same team, they had a tacit understanding and blocked Simon's path. In the end, Ling Yang won the first place in Zone A, while Tang Xing won the second place. Simon lost control of his car and sped off the track just as he was about to reach the finish line. The third place fell to another foreign racer. The screams of the fans almost shook the roof. They could finally hold their heads high. Lin Yan had placed first in Zone C. A total of 3 racers from the country had advanced to the finals of the first level of the international competition. All of them had performed very well. Ah! That's great. God Yang is so handsome. The combination of strong teams is indeed impressive. There's hope for this year's summit. Yeah. Not only is there a dark horse from Aurora, but there's also God Yang and Speed of Light's captain, Tang Sheng. There's a high chance that they can make it to the top 3. The finals are coming soon. I'm so excited. After the preliminaries ended, all the racers returned to the preparation area. After a short break, the finals were about to begin. At the Aurora team's preparation area, Coach Yunxian's team was very strong. There had been a series of collisions during the race, and Yunxian's car had been affected. In the end, he had only finished 4th. 4th is not bad. Your team is very strong, Lin Yan consoled him. Yunxian was very talented, but he had limited experience. He still lacked some countermeasures in the face of unexpected situations. Goddess, I tried my best. It was 2F** King difficult. Mo Shuyun had finished 7th in Zone A. Chi Feng grinned. I'm 5th in Zone C. No wonder it's the first level of the international competition. Everyone is so strong. The second level can't be compared to them at all. Mo Shuyun sighed. I can't imagine how strong the contestants are. Although Lin Yan was the only one who had made it to the finals, the outcome was expected and everyone was happy. Lin Yan was preparing for the next race when a figure ran to her. The person handed Lin Yan water with one hand and a towel with the other. Then, he massaged Lin Yan's shoulders. Mo Shuyun, Chi Feng, and the others were stunned. Who is this? Lin Yan stared speechlessly at Sun Xuan, who was wearing a mask and sunglasses. She lowered her voice and warned him, "Why are you here?" "Hee, master, I'm here to show my filial piety and cheer for you. I'm wearing a mask and sunglasses. I won't be discovered." Lin Yan glanced at him helplessly. "Don't you need to train?" Ever since he came to Hua Nation, he had been trying his best to stick to her, trying to keep his position as her #1 disciple. "I caught a cold, and Brotherson told me to rest more. Since I have nothing to do, I came over to cheer for you, master." Lin Yan was about to scold him when Michaud appeared out of nowhere. "Great-grandfather, drink mine. It's delicious." Sun Xuan shoved Michaud away. "Damn it. What are you doing here? Go back to your own preparation area. You're ranked 3rd in your group and you still have the cheek to come see your great-grandfather." This time, Michaud had been assigned to the same competition as Lin Yan and ended up in 3rd place. "Why can you come but I can't?" "Because this is my master. Quickly go and find your own master." "I don't want to. I want to find your master." Lin Yan was speechless. Couldn't he just drag these 2 rascals away? Lin Yan was about to ask Mo Shuyun for help when she realized that he had disappeared. In the VIP lounge, the boss of the Lu Corporation, Lu Zhengkuan, and the boss of LY Car, Meng Dong, sat side by side on the couch. These 2 bosses held the lifeblood of the domestic racing industry. They had sponsored the best teams in the country, Thunderous Sound Team and Lightspeed Team respectively. End of this chapter. Chapter 1436. Mo Shuyun was searched and his phone was confiscated before he entered. He had an inexplicable bad premonition. Why did the 2 of them call him over at this time? "Boss Lu, Boss Meng, I'm flattered. May I know why the 2 bosses called me over?" Meng Dong said with a fake smile as he sipped his tea. "Congratulations, Captain Mo. 2 racers from Aurora have entered the finals. Mo Shuyun said cautiously. Hee, congratulations to the two bosses too. Lu Zhenkuan lit a cigarette impatiently. Captain Mo, the finals are about to begin. I won't beat around the bush with you. Lightspeed and Thunderous Sound must enter the top 3 in the first level of the international competition. I don't want anything to affect this result. Lin Yang was in great condition this time, and Tang Sheng's results were also very good. Both teams were likely to enter the top 3. Currently, the biggest competitor in the country was Aurora. It would be fine if they lost to foreign racers. At most, they would just be scolded like in previous years. Fans might scold them, but they would still support them. However, if they lost to the Aurora team, it would be a fatal blow to Thunderous Sound and Lightspeed. This meant that Thunderous Sound and Lightspeed, the two biggest teams in the country, would be replaced by Aurora. Their profits would also be divided with Aurora. Therefore, they could not lose to Aurora in this competition no matter what. Mo Shuyun had a premonition when he entered. He was even more certain of his guess after hearing this. However, he could only play dumb at this moment. Boss Meng, I don't quite understand what you mean. Meng Dong glanced at Mo Shuyun. Captain Mo, you're a smart man. You should understand what we mean. As long as Aurora loses to Thunderous Sound and Lightspeed, you can name the price. Mo Shuyun's expression changed drastically. They actually wanted to use money to make Aurora fix the competition. However, it was no wonder. This competition had a lot of attention. If the invested team achieved good results and entered the top race, it would bring huge profits to these sponsors. Mo Shuyun thought for a moment and made a decision. Sorry, I can't comply with this. Lu Zhenkuan snorted. Captain Mo, I advise you not to refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. You should know the consequences of offending me and Boss Meng in this industry. Mo Shuyun knew that Lu Zhenkuan wasn't exaggerating at all. Lu Zhenkuan's Lu Group had been involved in the racing industry for more than a decade, and its power network was deeply rooted. Meng Dong's LY Car Company was the leader in the industry and was backed by the JM Group. It was a subsidiary of the JM Group. It was not an exaggeration to say that they could do whatever they wanted in the industry. Any one of these two bosses was enough to shut down a team, let alone both of them at the same time. It seemed like the Aurora team had really given them a lot of pressure this time. Lin Yan had won the championship twice, which had severely threatened the status of the two teams. She had threatened the profits of the two big shots. Otherwise, these two former rivals would not have joined forces to deal with the Aurora fleet. Mo Shuyun was caught in a dilemma. If he agreed, all his efforts would go to waste. If he didn't agree, he couldn't imagine what kind of storms the Aurora team would have to face after the race. If it had been Lin Yan, what would she have done? However, he couldn't tell Lin Yan about this. She was about to compete, so this matter would definitely affect her. End of chapter. Chapter 1437. Captain Mo, you don't have much time to think about it, Lu Zhenkuan urged impatiently. After a long silence, Mo Shuyun finally said, I'm sorry, but I can't agree. In the end, Mo Shuyun rejected the two bosses and left the VIP room. He believed that Lin Yan would have made the same decision if she had been in his shoes. The moment Mo Shuyun left, Lu Zhenkuan slammed the table angrily. Outrageous. A brat who came out of nowhere and a newly formed team dares to be so arrogant in front of me. Meng Dong chuckled like a tiger. Heh heh. A newborn calf isn't afraid of a tiger. However, President Lu, don't be angry. Tang Sheng and Ling Yang are in top form this time. We are confident that we will win. Mo Shuyun is just a precaution. It won't affect the final outcome. Lu Zhenkuan snorted coldly. That's true, but we can't let Aurora continue to develop like this. Meng Dong's eyes darkened. Why are you so anxious? We will deal with them after the competition. Since they don't know what's good for them, we won't have to be courteous with them in the future. The two bosses sat comfortably on the couch and sipped their tea as they waited for the competition to begin. At this moment, there was an urgent knock on the door of the private room. President Lu. Lu Jingquan's assistant rushed in a panic. Why are you so flustered? Lu Jingquan looked displeased. The assistant looked like he was about to cry. President Lu, there's a new development in the investigation that you asked me to investigate. I've found out which team member is related to President Pei of JM. Oh. Who is it? Lu Jingquan asked curiously. The assistant replied cautiously, It's Lin Yan from Aurora. Lu Jingquan almost choked on his tea. Ahem. What did you say? How could it be Lin Yan? Didn't you say that you've checked all the team members and there's nothing wrong? Why did Lin Yan appear out of nowhere? The assistant looked like he was about to cry. I didn't manage to find out. I didn't find out. I saw it with my own eyes. As the assistant spoke, he showed his boss a photo on his phone. In the photo, Pei Yuqing was sticking stickers on the two kids' faces. One of them had the word Lin on it, while the other had the word Yan on it. The boss had written Lin Yan's name and the Aurora team logo on the chess piece in his hand. Most importantly, Lin Yan's name had been painted on the boss's face. What else was there to investigate? Pei Yuqing had written his name on his face. When Lu Jingquan had discovered that Pei Yuqing had come to watch the competition, he had been trying to find out which team Pei Yuqing's relative belonged to. He wanted to use this opportunity to build a relationship and discuss a new collaboration. Unfortunately, the boss was too cold and aloof. It was not easy to talk to him, so he specially sent people to check several times to make sure that none of the team members were related to the Pei family. How could he have imagined that the racer Pei Yuqing had mentioned would be the only female racer this year? How is this a relative? This is a girlfriend. The identities of the two children were also very subtle. Maybe she wasn't just his girlfriend, she might even be his wife. Otherwise, how could the three brothers, Pei Yuqing, Pei Nanxiu, and Pei Yutong, appear at the same time to cheer for Lin Yan? This was a huge matter. End of this chapter. Chapter 1438. JM Corporation was one of the biggest clients of his company. It controlled the Lu Corporation's lifeline. In the end, they had invested in Aurora's rival team. The relationship between Aurora and the other two teams was getting tense. He had even suggested that Thunderous Sound and Speed of Light teams join forces to deal with Aurora. If the boss were to find out about this, President Lu stared at the red flag in the boss's hand, his back drenched in cold sweat. It was over. Meng Dong, who had noticed something amiss, yelled, "Hold on. What are you talking about? What girlfriend? Whose girlfriend is Lin Yan?" Lu Jingquan passed his phone to Meng Dong. "Pei Yuqing. Lin Yan is your boss's girlfriend." Lu Jingquan vented his anger on Meng Dong. "Old Meng. What's wrong with you? The female racer from Aurora is President Pei's girlfriend. How could you not know about such a big deal?" Meng Dong was dumbfounded as he stared at the photo. President Pei has always kept a low profile. There's no news about this. How would I know? However, are you sure that President Pei has that kind of relationship with that female racer? How dare you ask me about your boss's affairs? If that wasn't the case, why would Pei Yuqing bring his two brothers to watch the competition? Who was Pei Yuqing? What kind of personality did he have? What kind of relationship could make him come to watch the competition with a flag in his hand? These two kids could even be their sons. Lin Yan might even be your boss's wife. Lu Jingquan was flustered. Meng Dong was in despair when he heard this. "It's all your fault. You insisted on joining forces with me to suppress Aurora. What if President Pei finds out? What would he think? I would lose my position as the general manager." Lu Jingquan's face was ashen. "Do you think I have it easy? Our biggest order comes from JM Corporation every year. I can't wait to serve President Pei. One of their companies relied on JM Corporation's orders, while the other was a subsidiary of JM Corporation. None of them could afford to offend this boss. After a moment of silence, both of them came to a conclusion. Their racers couldn't beat Lin Yan at the first level of the international competition. I still don't believe you. I have to confirm it myself. Meng Dong rose to his feet. At the same time, in the stands, Pei Yutang shouted excitedly, "Ah! My dad is awesome." Qi Xiaoyuan said calmly, "Calm down, it's just a qualifier. This is just my goddess routine." A middle-aged man in a suit walked over from the side aisle. Qi Xiaoyuan recognized the middle-aged man as Meng Dong, the boss of another big car manufacturer in the country. This car company was a subsidiary of JM Group. At the same time, Meng Dong was also the biggest sponsor of another old monster team, the Speed of Light team. Meng Dong walked a little further to the back. Sure enough, he saw his big boss, two of his big boss's brothers, and two little boys who looked like his big boss. Meng Dong's heart sank. Meng Dong walked over to Pei Yucheng and greeted him respectfully. "President Pei." When Meng Dong saw the flag and the name Lin Yan on Pei Yucheng's face, his heart sank. Pei Yucheng's eyes were in the direction of the Aurora team. When he was interrupted, he raised his eyes and glanced at the man. Boss Meng. End of chapter. Chapter 1439. Meng Dong immediately apologized. "President Pei, why didn't you tell me that you were coming? I only knew that you were coming when my subordinates told me. I'm so rude." He could only catch a glimpse of Big Boss once a year during the company's annual meeting. He hadn't expected to bump into him at such an occasion. Pei Yucheng replied, "I'm just here to watch the competition. Don't mind me." "President Pei, do you like Aurora?" "Aurora's performance this year has been outstanding. Especially Lin Yan, the number 8 racer. She's definitely a hot favorite to win this competition." "President Pei, you have good taste." Meng Dong flattered Pei Qian politely. At the same time, he did not forget to probe further. "Boss Pei, is Miss Lin your?" Pei Yutang burst into laughter and interrupted Meng Dong. "President Zheng, aren't you the investor of the Speed of Light team? Why do you keep praising other teams?" Pei Yutang had touched his sore spot. Meng Dong's face turned green, and he looked like he was about to burst into tears. No. That investment was just a casual investment by my subordinates. How could it compare to the team that President Pei has set his eyes on? Of course, it can't compare to Miss Lin. Who would have thought that Big Boss's girlfriend would be a female racer? As for him, he was sponsoring another team. How was this any different from openly opposing Big Boss? He was simply courting death. Meng Dong didn't dare disturb Pei Yucheng as he watched the competition intently. He exchanged some pleasantries and left tactfully. He returned to the VIP room. Very soon, the captains and managers of Thunderous Sound and Speed of Light teams were summoned. The manager of the Thunderous Sound racing team thought that his boss had called them over to reward them, and his face was full of joy. "Boss, this time, our two teams cooperated very well. Even that mad dog, Simon, was eliminated by us. Now, the internet is full of praises for us, and we've completely overshadowed the Aurora racing team." The manager of Speed of Light team was also sucking up to them. "Yeah, both of you are wise." However, the two of them realized that the two bosses looked worse than the other. They couldn't help but feel puzzled. "Boss, why did you suddenly call us over?" asked the team manager. Ling Yang's expression was somewhat displeased. "The competition is about to start. If you have something to say it quickly. I have to prepare in 5 minutes." Lu Zhengkuan's expression was serious. He deliberated over his words before saying, "Today, Chief Zheng and I asked you to come here because we have something important to tell you. You must remember not to say a word about what we're going to say next, understand?" The four of them nodded. "Don't worry, Mr. Lu." "What is it?" Lu Zhengkuan and Meng Dong glanced at each other before they said, Ling Yang and Tang Xing can win the next round, but they can't beat Lin Yan. The moment he finished speaking, all four of them were stunned. Ling Yang asked, "What did you say?" Tang Xing frowned, thinking that he had heard wrongly. "You can't beat Lin Yan?" "What do you mean?" The manager of the Lane motorcade was anxious. "Mr. Liu, Mr. Meng, you must be joking, right?" "Why was that?" Ling Yang and Tang Xing were very likely to enter the Apex competition, and they might even win the championship. If they didn't defeat Lin Yan, wouldn't they have to hand over the championship to someone else? He might even be kicked out of the tournament. End of chapter. Chapter 1440. Meng Dong replied solemnly, "Try to make it to the top 3. As for the first place, even if we give her the championship, we can't beat her." Ling Yang replied coldly, "Why? If you can't give us a reason, then I can't agree to such a ridiculous decision." Tang Xing chimed in, "I can't agree to it either." Thunder Sound Racing's manager whispered, "Boss Liu, Boss Meng, isn't this different from what we agreed on? The original plan wasn't to join forces to deal with Aurora. You also promised to exert pressure on Aurora at all costs to ensure that nothing goes wrong." He had thought that nothing would go wrong this time. How had things turned out the other way? The two bosses had exerted pressure on them to make way for Aurora. Wasn't there something wrong with that? Meng Dong smiled bitterly. "I know it's hard for you to accept, but think about it. If we had a choice, would we do something that would destroy our own interests?" The manager pondered for a moment. There is only one possibility for the two bosses to make such a sacrifice. Lin Yan has a powerful backer. Thunder Sound Racing's manager looked incredulous. Boss Zheng and Boss Meng are the biggest car companies in the country. What backer could be stronger than ours? Lu Zhengkuan coughed softly. "Lin Yan's backer is your boss's boss." Meng Dong shrugged. "Besides, he is CEO Lu's biggest client. We can't afford to offend him." "What? Boss Meng's boss?" Thunder Sound Racing's manager was dumbfounded. Boss Lu's biggest client? Thunder Sound Racing's manager was dumbfounded as well. Ling Yang seemed to have thought of something as he asked, "Could it be JM Corporation?" Tang Xing was shocked. "It can't be," Meng Dong sighed. "That's right. It's JM Corporation. My boss is sitting there with Lin Yan's banner in his hand. Lin Yan's name is written on his face. How could I let you win? He just has to ask around and he will find out that we are working together to suppress Lin Yan. His sudden appearance today could be a warning." Lu Zhengkuan's face turned pale when he heard Meng Dong. "That's possible. No matter what you do, you can't beat Lin Yan today. Even if you have to give up on the competition, you can't beat her." The four of them did not expect such an outcome. In their opinion, with the two big shots in the racing circle, Lu Zhengkuan and Meng Dong, they would definitely be able to get a ticket to the summit of the competition and set a new racing record in China. Who would have thought that the situation would be completely reversed overnight? They couldn't figure out how Lin Yan had gotten involved with such a person. "This is ridiculous." Ling Yang slammed the table and stood up. "You want me to lose to her on purpose? That's impossible." Meng Dong looked deeply at Ling Yang. "You can choose to be willful, but you better consider the consequences. If you refuse, I will immediately withdraw all my sponsorship with the Lane motorcade. Moreover, if you offend someone like that, no other company would dare to sponsor the Lane racing team in the future. If you want the Lane racing team to cease to exist, you can reject it." Thunderous Sound's team manager quickly restrained Ling Yang. "Brother Yang, calm down. This backer was indeed not to be trifled with. Who would have thought that they would kick a steel plate this time?" Chapter 1441. The competition was about to start when Mo Shuyun rushed back. "Where did you go?" asked Lin Yan casually. "Air. I have diarrhea." Goddess, all the best. Mo Shuyun didn't mention anything about what had just happened. He couldn't let anything affect Lin Yan and Yin Xian. Lin Yan didn't think much of it and nodded. Her principle was to preserve her strength and enter the top 3 at the first level of the international competition. After all, the competition was about to start. It was best to keep a low profile in case anything happened overseas. She had been worried that Avis, the vice president of the Foreign Racing Association, had discovered her identity. During the preliminary competition, she hadn't given her all as usual. Based on the overall results of the 3 competition zones, Lin Yang had performed the best in the preliminary round. Lin Yan was ranked 3rd. This result was in line with her standard. It wasn't ugly or eye-catching. In the past, she wouldn't have cared about this. However, after experiencing so much, how could she not be careful? If she wanted to beat those old foxes, she had to be more cautious. This time, the Chinese team had indeed risen. 3 of the 9 racers had made it to the finals. Ling Yang and Tang Xing's closed-door training had been extremely effective. They had even broken the record of the first level of the international competition and defeated the arrogant foreign teams. It seemed like these 2 teams had deliberately hidden their strength. Even Lin Yan had to admit that Ling Yang and Tang Xing had done well this time, especially Ling Yang. The Chinese racers had finally improved. If nothing unexpected happened, Ling Yang and Tang Xing would most likely enter the top 3 this time. Yin Xian and Mi Shou were indeed a little inferior to the veterans who had shown their true strength. After all, being able to enter the first level of the international competition at their age was already a height that no racer could reach. The finals began. The 9 racers were in their positions. Lin Yan's plan was the same as the previous competitions. She wouldn't use her full strength at the start. Instead, she would control her speed according to everyone's ability. On the first straight track on the starting grid, 2 cars came to the front one after another. Both of them were racers from top foreign teams. Lin Yan controlled her speed and placed 3rd. She was calculating her speed when she realized that something was amiss. The 2 racers in front of her were both foreign. What about Ling Yang and Tang Xing? Lin Yan glanced at the rearview mirror and realized that Ling Yang was following closely behind. Tang Xing was right behind him. With these 2 standards, they shouldn't be ranked so low. What's more, these 2 people definitely wanted to surpass her the most. Could it be that he was still hiding his strength? That shouldn't have happened. No one would be arrogant enough to hide their strength during the first level of the international competition. Of course, Lin Yan was an exception. Could it be some sort of strategy? Lin Yan continued to observe for a while and realized that Ling Yang and Tang Xing were still behind her. Even though it was obvious that they had a chance to overtake her, they didn't. Tang Xing's level might be limited, but Ling Yang didn't surpass him either. This was really strange. At that moment, Ling Yang and Tang Xing, who had deliberately followed Lin Yan, were about to explode with rage. If Lin Yan continued to rank 3rd, both of them would be eliminated if they couldn't surpass her. That way, they wouldn't be able to enter the competition. Damn it. Chapter 1442. Given this woman's abilities, she would only be able to handle the 3rd and 2nd level of the international competition. She would reveal her true colors at the first level. Were they really going to give up their places in the competition just because they lost to this woman? However, Lu Jingquan and Meng Dong had warned them personally that if they didn't do as they were told, their racing careers would be over even if they made it to the competition. Lin Yan had even deliberately let them win once to test the waters, but the 2 at the back remained unmoved. Lin Yan narrowed her eyes as she sped up at the next hairpin turn. After the turn, Lin Yan overtook the 2nd contestant. At the same time, Lin Yan realized that Ling Yang and Tang Xing had caught up with her. Lin Yan felt incredulous. Could Ling Yang and Tang Xing be deliberately giving in to her? This was the first time in her career that someone had let her win. This was really refreshing. Ling Yang heaved a sigh of relief when he saw Lin Yan speed up. If Lin Yan had finished 2nd, he would have been able to keep his ranking to third and at least enter the competition. However, Tang Sheng would be in danger. In the second half of the race, Lin Yan had more or less figured out everyone's abilities. She gradually sped up and overtook Carl from Country M at the last turn. Ling Yang and Carl began to fight for second place. Tang Xing failed to catch up and was currently in fourth place. All the cars arrived at the finish line one after another, accompanied by deafening cheers. The results were out. First place, Aurora Lin Yan. Second place, Thunder Sound Team Ling Yang. Third place, Falcon Team Charles Carl. Fourth place, Light Speed Team Tang Sheng. This result was really shocking. Tang Sheng had maintained his record of fourth place. Ling Yang had broken his best result and successfully entered the top 3. He had obtained a ticket to the competition. This should have been a pleasant surprise for all racing fans. It would have been the pinnacle of racing in the country. It would have meant that after so many years, a Chinese racer had finally entered the competition. However, no one had expected Lin Yan, a dark horse, to win the first level of the international competition. This was too dazzling. Hence, everyone's attention was focused on Lin Yan. No one paid attention to Ling Yang and Tang Sheng's results. In the stands, Lu Jingquan was holding a pair of binoculars. After seeing the result, he heaved a huge sigh of relief. Thank goodness, Ling Yang hadn't defeated Lin Yan, but he had entered the competition. This was the best outcome. In contrast, Meng Dong's expression was not so good. Tang Sheng was eliminated. Lu Jingquan glanced at Meng Dong and said with a smile, "Brother Meng, don't be too sad. After all, Tang Sheng is not good enough. Fortunately, the crisis is over. You still have a chance in the next competition." Meng Dong was so angry that he rolled his eyes at Lu Jingquan. He put on a fake smile and said, "Brother Lu, don't be too sad. If it weren't for this, all the limelight today would have belonged to your Lane motorcade." When Lu Jingquan heard this, he couldn't laugh anymore. If they had gone according to their original plan, they would have bribed Lin Yan to ensure that they would win the competition. Lei Yin would have been the center of attention. However, even though he had broken the record and clinched second place, he had been overshadowed by Lin Yan. How painful. End of chapter. Chapter 1443. At the same time, in the VIP room, Vice President Avis and a plump foreign man were standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, watching the competition. Avis glanced at Lin Yan's results on the screen and chuckled. "Willie, you should rest assured now. Yeva has been away from the competition for a long time, so she can't reach her peak. Even though she got first place, her speed can't be compared to her peak. With this kind of standard, she'll only be crushed in the finals. There's no need for us to do anything at all." "How do you know that she isn't hiding her strength?" the man asked. Avis grinned. "Willie, we've met many times. Have you ever seen Yeva hide her strength? Given her arrogant character, she wouldn't do such a thing." Lin Yan, who was presenting the award, suddenly sneezed twice. What was going on? Who was talking behind her back? After the awards ceremony, Lin Yan was about to leave the stage when someone bumped into her. Lin Yan raised an eyebrow when she saw him. "Captain Tang?" Tang Xing's expression was ugly as he glared at her. "I thought that you were capable, but it turns out that you're just a so-so." Tang Xing seemed to want to say something, but he was quickly dragged away by the team manager behind him. "Ahem. Miss Lin, I'm sorry. He lost the competition, so he's in a bad mood. Please don't hold it against him." Lin Yan was puzzled. "Hello, beauty. Wait for me." Carl, who was in third place, chased after her happily with the trophy. "Beauty, I didn't expect to meet you again. I prayed to God that I wouldn't meet you during the second level of the international competition. God heard my prayers. However, I didn't expect to meet you during the first level. Beauty, can you give me your number?" Lin Yan was speechless. Why was this guy haunting her? After being defeated by her during the third level, he had been trying to find her, but she had ignored him. Who would have thought that they would bump into each other at the first level? Lin Yan smiled politely. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. My husband and son are waiting for me to celebrate. Carl was speechless. Husband? Son? Finally, Lin Yan sent Carl away and returned to the stage. All the members of the Aurora team crowded around her and cheered happily. Sister Yan, you're the best. Captain, you're awesome. Awesome. That's amazing. Lin Yan chatted with her team members for a while before she called Mo Shuyun over. Lin Yan replied, Go ahead. Mo Shuyun, what? What did he say? Congratulations, goddess. Lin Yan asked, Why did you suddenly leave before the competition? Mo Shuyun looked sheepish. Had Lin Yan discovered that he had been threatened by the two bosses? Nothing. Nothing. Mo Shuyun didn't dare to say it out loud. Lin Yan rolled her eyes at him and crossed her arms. Did you bribe Thunderous Sound and Lightspeed to lose to me on purpose? Do you think I need someone to give in to me? Mo Shuyun was dumbfounded by Lin Yan's scolding. Goddess. You. What are you talking about? I bribed Thunderclap and Lightspeed? Where am I going to get so much money? How could I possibly be so capable? Goddess, you think too highly of me. He didn't look like he was lying. Are you sure you didn't? Then why did it seem like Ling Yang and Tang Xing deliberately let me win during the competition? Good night, the update is over, smooches, end of this chapter. Chapter 1444. Mo Shuyun was on the verge of tears. Huh? They purposely let you win? Lin Yan replied, Although I don't need it, they should have been faster. Lin Yan was infuriated. She had initially planned to place second or third, but she had been forced to place first. Mo Shuyun scratched his head in confusion. This isn't right. What kind of development is this? Lin Yan pressed on. So why did you leave before the race? At a time like this, Mo Shuyun could only tell the truth. He quickly explained, I suddenly left before the race because the sponsors of the Thunder Sound Racing Team, Boss Lu, and the Lightspeed Racing Team, Boss Meng, suddenly called me over. The two of them threatened and bribed you, wanting to bribe you to lose to them on purpose. But I know you well enough that you wouldn't agree, so I rejected them decisively. I didn't want to affect your performance, so I didn't say anything. Lin Yan was taken aback by Mo Shuyun's words. Are you sure? Then why did Speed of Light and Thunderclap lose to me? Mo Shuyun replied, How? How would I know? Those two bosses were so fierce. They said that if I didn't agree, they would ban my team. I was so scared that I didn't know what to do. While Mo Shuyun was talking, his phone rang. Oh, it's Meng Dong. Lin Yan replied, Answer it. Mo Shuyun answered the call and spoke briefly. Then, he glanced at Lin Yan. Meng Dong and Lu Zhengkuan want to invite you over. They sounded polite. I wonder what they are up to, Lin Yan replied, Let's go and find out. In the VIP room, Lin Yan and Mo Shuyun knocked on the door and entered. Meng Dong and Lu Zhengkuan stood up at the same time when they saw Lin Yan. Meng Dong said, Miss Lin, you're here. Please take a seat. Lu Zhengkuan said, Congratulations, Miss Lin. You're really impressive. Lin Yan and Mo Shuyun exchanged puzzled looks. They didn't seem like they were here to cause trouble. Instead, they seemed to be trying to worm their way into her good graces. Lin Yan glanced at them and got straight to the point. Before the competition, didn't the two of you threaten Captain Mo and force me to lose to Ling Yang and Tang Sheng? What do you mean by saying all this now? Meng Dong was so scared that he quickly waved his hand. Miss Lin, Captain Mo, there was some misunderstanding between us before. Please don't take it to heart if we offended you. Lu Zhengkuan, yeah. We're all Chinese, so no matter which team wins, it's a good thing. Mo Shuyun was dumbfounded. He almost wondered if his memory was messed up. Just a few hours ago, this was not their attitude. Meng Dong rubbed his hands together. Miss Lin, this is really a misunderstanding. Please send my regards to Boss Pei and explain to him. Lu Zhengkuan echoed, yes, yes. The word President Pei cleared Lin Yan's doubts. The two of them had initially planned to use their power to coerce and bribe her. However, they had discovered her relationship with Pei Yucheng and changed their strategy. This was really dramatic enough. Lin Yan was at a loss for words. After they left the room, Mo Shuyun was still bewildered. Goddess, what is going on? Lin Yan rolled her eyes and shrugged. Don't you understand? These two fellows wanted to use their power to oppress us, but they ended up being oppressed. Mo Shuyun asked, oppressed? What do you mean? Lin Yan replied, it means that I have a stronger backing. Mo Shuyun was speechless. Lin Yan replied, anyway, you don't have to worry about this. They won't cause trouble for us in the future. Just focus on the competition. End of the chapter. Chapter 1445. Lin Yan asked Mo Shuyun to arrange for the celebration to be held the next day. She had to go back to accompany her boyfriend tonight. On the way to Pei Yucheng, Lin Yan had been thinking about something. No one knew about her relationship with Pei Yucheng. How had President Lu and President Meng found out? She couldn't figure it out. Could Pei Yutong have spilled the beans? Sister. Mommy, Lin Yan was lost in her thoughts when she raised her head to see the two babies pouncing on her. Then, she saw the word Lin on Xiao Li's face and the word Yan on Qian Qian's face. Pei Yucheng, Pei Nanxiu, and Pei Yutong were holding a small, eye-catching flag with Lin Yan's and Aurora's logos on it. Pei Yucheng was dressed casually as he stood a few steps away from her. There was a faint smile on the man's lips. When he looked at her from behind the lenses, it was like the water of the glacier flowing slowly under the sunlight on the peak of a snowy mountain, containing a drowning gentleness. And on the man's godlike handsome face, he had used colorful paint to write her name. Lin Yan was speechless. She racked her brains, trying to figure out how her relationship with Pei Yucheng had been revealed. She had never expected that Pei Yucheng had written it on his face. Lin Yan's heart was pounding, and the sound reverberated in her chest. This man was too good at flirting. Ahem. Lin Yan snapped back to her senses and glanced at the cheerleaders, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Where did you get all these? A fan gave them to you, replied Pei Yucheng. Pei Yutong waved the flag and chuckled. His name is Qi Xiaoyuan. He gave us the rest. Pei Yucheng's eyes sparkled with a smile. I didn't think it through this time. I will prepare in advance next time. Lin Yan hadn't expected Pei Yucheng to be so serious. She rubbed her forehead and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The man's affectionate eyes and sparkling smile seemed to have warmed her entire world. Lin Yan reached out to caress the man's face. Before she could react, she had already planted a kiss on his lips. Darling, why are you so adorable? Pei Yucheng froze. A second later, the warmth in his eyes burned like a burning flame. Pei Yutong wailed, sister-in-law. You can't abuse a dog like this. Do you want me to move the Civil Affairs Bureau here? Cloud Manor, Pei Nanxiu coughed softly. He hadn't expected to see such a lively expression on his big brother's face. Pei Qian and Pei Li widened their eyes as they recalled what Pei Yucheng had told them that night. The son depends on his father. Unexpectedly, after her mother lost her memory, she actually liked this man so much. Pei Li touched his little face. Sister, I have it too. Pei Qian hurriedly followed. Mommy, I have one too. I'm cute too. Lin Yan squatted down and hugged them. All right. You're both adorable. Thank you, babies, for coming and cheering for me. I'm so happy today. Pei Yutong and Pei Nanxiu stayed behind to celebrate Lin Yan's victory. Everyone had dinner together. Lin Yan called Wang Jingyang. "Hey, pup. Are you free tonight? Come and have dinner with us." Call Bai He too. End of this chapter. Chapter 1446. Wang Jingyang, who was on the other end of the line, said warily, "Eat. Eat. Do you want to go through thick and thin with me again? Let me tell you, no way." She had tricked him into eating Pei Yucheng's cooking, which had left him traumatized even now. Lin Yan quipped, "What do you mean by going through thick and thin with me?" Wang Jingyang replied, "You should enjoy it alone." "Thank you." Lin Yan asked, "Are you really not coming?" Wang Jingyang replied, "No, I still want to live for a few more years." Lin Yan asked, "What about Bai He?" Wang Jingyang replied, "He jumped out of the window when he heard that you were going to invite him for dinner." Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Yutong lived on the 17th floor. "Oh yeah, has Xiao Ji contacted you recently?" asked Wang Jingyang suddenly. Lin Yan replied, "No, why?" "Nothing. If Xiao Ji asks you out, you'd better stay away from him," Wang Jingyang said solemnly. Lin Yan was puzzled. "Why? Haven't you been trying to matchmake me with Xiao Ji?" "There's no reason. Just listen to me. That guy isn't good enough for you. Ignore him." Wang Jingyang replied casually. Lin Yan was satisfied with his answer. "You're right. Don't worry. I've been busy with training recently. Other than that, I don't even have time to accompany my boyfriend. How would I have time for anyone else? Sister-in-law, did my brother cook tonight's dinner?" Pei Yutong shuddered when he saw Pei Yucheng walk out of the kitchen. Lin Yan, who knew what he was worried about, rolled her eyes at him. "The chef made it. Your brother was only in charge of serving it." Lin Yan had asked Pei Yucheng to hire someone from the kitchen to take care of the two kids at home. It wasn't because she didn't want to eat Pei Yucheng's cooking. It was fine for her to suffer, but she couldn't let the kids suffer. "Oh, that's good. That's good." Pei Yutong heaved a sigh of relief. Pei Qian glanced at the exquisite food on the table, looking displeased. "Uncle, you don't know how to cook." Pei Li straightened his back before Pei Yucheng could speak. "I don't think it's a big deal that a man doesn't know how to cook." Pei Qian didn't expect Pei Li to change sides just like that. He angrily said, "How can you take good care of mother if you don't even know how to cook?" "Pei Li, you don't have to cook to take care of your sister." Pei Qian widened his eyes. "Why are you speaking up for him? Isn't cooking an essential skill for all boys?" Pei Yucheng glanced at Pei Qian. "I know how to cook." Pei Qian, really? You're not lying, are you? Then why don't you do it? Pei Li simply covered his brother's mouth. Pei Qian, Pei Yutong, Pei Nanxiu, and Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief when Pei Li stopped Pei Qian. Pei Yutong hurriedly changed the topic. He. "Brother, sister-in-law, when are you getting married?" Lin Yan was taken aback. She had never considered this question. Right from the start, she had found it unbelievable that Pei Yucheng liked her. Hence, she had assumed that they would break up at any time. However, as they spent more time together, she gradually felt that the man in front of her really loved her. Pei Yucheng froze for a moment when he heard Pei Yutong's words. He and Lin Yan had already registered their marriage. They couldn't possibly do it again. End of this chapter. Chapter 1447. I haven't thought about this. Lin Yan muttered to herself. Although Pei Yucheng was having a headache over this issue, his eyes dimmed when he heard Lin Yan. However, now that you've reminded me, it seems like it's time to put it on the agenda. Lin Yan turned to look at Pei Yucheng happily. Darling, when do you think we should get our marriage certificate? Pei Yucheng's face lit up. Are you sure you want to consider this? Of course. Wouldn't a relationship without marriage be considered a hooligan? Lin Yan considered it seriously before she replied excitedly, "Why don't we get our marriage certificate after I win the competition? What do you think?" Pei Yuqing's eyes seemed to be shrouded in a sea of blue waves. He felt rather conflicted at the moment. Lin Yan had actually said that she wanted to get married with him. However, if they really went to get their marriage certificate, she would inevitably discover that they were already married. Wow! Sister-in-law, are you proposing? Pei Yutang's eyes widened. Lin Yan coughed violently as she realized what she had just said. What proposal? How can my proposal be so shabby? It has to be grand and grand. The corners of Pei Yuqing's mouth curled up. I'm looking forward to it. If it was possible, he really hoped that they wouldn't be disturbed. However, this peace wouldn't last for long. The international competition had ended, and Lin Yan had successfully entered the competition. She felt a little more relaxed. There was still some time before the competition, so she had to start thinking about the matter that she had been avoiding. Lin Yan decided to go back to look for Himuyan. There were some things that she had to ask her in person. Before she went back, Lin Yan went to the mall to buy some supplements and clothes for Himuyan. Before she entered the mall, Lin Yan vaguely sensed someone's gaze on her. Instinctively, Lin Yan stopped and scanned her surroundings. When she saw Xiao Ji in a wheelchair, she couldn't help but be surprised. She hadn't expected to meet him there. Miss Lin Yan, what a coincidence. Xiao Ji, who was in the wheelchair, smiled at Lin Yan. Lin Yan wanted to turn around, but Xiao Ji had already seen her. It would be rude to ignore him. She had no choice but to bite the bullet and walk toward Xiao Ji. Xiao Ji, why are you here? Lin Yan stared at Xiao Ji curiously. Since I have nothing to do, I decided to go shopping, Xiao Ji said softly. Really? Lin Yan stared at Xiao Ji suspiciously. This guy had difficulty in moving and sat in a wheelchair every day. Why did he come to the shopping mall? Not only that, with Xiao Ji's wealth, what did he need him for? Are you stalking me? Lin Yan stared at Xiao Ji in confusion. Hearing this, Xiao Ji subconsciously looked at his legs. Do you think I'm following you? Lin Yan was speechless. Miss Lin, sir is really here to shop, Xing Chuan, who was pushing Xiao Ji's wheelchair, said. Lin Yan didn't care if others believed her or not. However, Xiao Ji's purpose had nothing to do with her. Miss Lin Yan, what a coincidence. I can't move easily, so please help me push my wheelchair. Let's walk around together. Xiao Ji smiled at Lin Yan. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched as she pointed at Xing Chuan. Isn't he human? Coincidentally, he was fired, Xiao Ji replied calmly. End of this chapter. This is just a business deal. You're free to do it. You do the work and I give you the information. It's that simple, said Xiao Ji. End of this chapter. Chapter 1449. Lin Yan instinctively glanced at Xiao Ji. Could he read minds? Xiao Ji, I'll push you home. Tell me everything you know. Are you sure? Asked Lin Yan. Of course. Xiao Ji answered with certainty. All right, deal. Lin Yan nodded and pushed Xiao Ji's wheelchair forward. In any case, she was also an evolved person, and her body had evolved. Not to mention pushing him home, she could even lift Xiao Ji's wheelchair over her head with one hand and run back. Lin Yan had already made up her mind. If Xiao Ji dared to fool around with her, he wouldn't need a wheelchair anymore. She would buy him the best stretcher. It only took Lin Yan half an hour to travel dozens of kilometers. When she arrived at Xiao Ji's manor, Xiao Ji frowned as he glanced at the dust on his body. Was she in a hurry to reincarnate? Lin Yan sipped on a cup of coffee as she stared at Xiao Ji, who was seated in a wheelchair. All right, tell me everything you know. Lin Yan put down the cup and glanced at Xiao Ji. What are you talking about? Xiao Ji was confused. Lin Yan didn't get angry. Instead, she took her phone out of her bag. Xiao Ji was curious when he saw that Lin Yan hadn't spoken for a long time. He turned his wheelchair behind Lin Yan and realized that she was shopping online. Xiao Ji, do you like this? Lin Yan pointed at the exquisite stretcher and asked Xiao Ji. Xiao Ji stared at the stretcher for a long time before he told Lin Yan, I will tell you about your background. I was just joking with you. Lin Yan nodded with a smile and turned off the app. I was just joking with you. Tell me. Your surname is Mu, said Xiao Ji. Lin Yan was speechless. Do I need you to tell me that? Tell me something I don't know. Lin Yan sighed. Your name is Mu Yan, continued Xiao Ji. Lin Yan was speechless. She really couldn't help but hit him. If she did it herself, it wouldn't be considered bullying a disabled person, right? Continue. Lin Yan glanced at Xiao Ji. Xiao Ji thought for a moment and said, Your real name is Mu Yan, and you are the daughter of a large evolved human clan. Wang Jingyang is your brother, and his real name is Mu Yang. The young mistress of a large evolved human clan. Wang Jingyang is my brother? Lin Yan looked at Xiao Ji as though she was looking at a fool. Why don't you call Wang Jingyang Mugo? I'm telling the truth, but you don't believe me. Xiao Ji shook his head, but it doesn't matter, I will let you remember everything, not only for you, but also for me. Before Lin Yan could reply, she felt a wave of dizziness wash over her. In seconds, Lin Yan fell asleep on the chair. Master, you're... Xing Chuan walked into the hall and looked at Xiao Ji in surprise. Get out. Xiao Ji stared at Lin Yan without lifting his head. Xing Chuan glanced at Lin Yan, looking as though he wanted to say something. However, he didn't dare. Xiao Ji stared at the unconscious Lin Yan and whispered softly, Jiufeng, you don't have much time left, and neither do I. Xiao Ji couldn't help but fall into deep thought as he stared at Lin Yan. His thoughts raced as though he had returned to the past. Back then, he hadn't joined the Mountain Sea realm because he had been oppressive. Instead, he had found out about Leader Jiufeng's special ability through some means. Defying the heavens and changing fate, if Xiao Ji had become one of the top evolved beings in the world at such a young age, it was a pity that his body couldn't take it. In the long run, he wouldn't be able to continue breaking through his limits. What awaited him would definitely be his body shattering. End of this chapter. Chapter 1450. Xiao Ji was a rare genius in the world. He seemed lucky, but in fact, he was extremely sad. He knew very well that if he couldn't continue to evolve and break through the bottleneck, he would die without a doubt. He had great ambitions in his heart, but because of this, he was unable to display them. He wanted to unify the evolvers and become the king of the world of evolvers. But even if he had the strength, his heavy body wouldn't agree to it. After discovering Jiao Feng's ability, Lin Yan had become his only hope. She had been his life-saving straw. Not only could she help him continue to break through, but she could also save him from the nightmare of his body collapsing. Many years ago, Xiao Ji had given up the empire he had created and lowered his status to become a member of the Mountain Sea realm. He had been under Jiao Feng. At first, Xiao Ji had joined the Mountain Sea realm with a strong purpose. He had wanted to use Jiao Feng to evolve again. Unfortunately, things didn't go according to his wishes. Jiao Feng, Wang Jingyang, and the others had always been wary of him. In those years, Xiao Ji had tried his best to hide himself. As time passed and he had experienced several major battles in the Mountain Sea realm, he had finally gained the trust of the members of the Mountain Sea realm, including the leader, Jiao Feng. However, the few years of living together and going through life and death together had caused Xiao Ji to feel a long-lost kinship, and it was an indescribable feeling. The three brothers had always been at odds with each other. Their parents had died in the battle of the evolved beings. Perhaps because his parents had died in the battle of the evolved beings, Xiao Ji had sworn an oath when he was young. In this life, he would do his best. Even if there was only a 1 in a million chance, he wouldn't give up. He wanted to become the king of the evolved beings and rule the entire world. Perhaps that way, there would be no more wars and no more destitution. The evolver talent that Xiao Ji showed at such a young age was beyond everyone's expectations at that time. Countless big families tried to rope him in, and the Mu family, which was extremely powerful at that time, was one of the families that tried to rope in Xiao Ji. The heavens seemed to be playing a joke on Xiao Ji. When Xiao Ji had created his own empire and raised his power to the peak, his evolution had begun to stagnate. Not only that, but his body had gradually been unable to withstand his terrifying evolution power and gradually showed signs of collapse. After entering the mountains and seas, with 9 phoenixes' help, his body was able to balance itself, and the signs of collapse disappeared. After so many years of fighting in the north and going through life and death together, Xiao Ji began to look at the mountains and seas more seriously. Even Xiao Ji didn't know when to open his mouth, but he actually began to enjoy this inseparable bond. Even Xiao Ji wasn't sure if he liked Jiao Feng, or if he just regarded her as a family member that he didn't want to be separated from. Xiao Ji didn't care about the tribulation he had to suffer during the evolution. As long as his home was there, it didn't matter whether he evolved or not. The scenes of that year kept appearing in Xiao Ji's mind and lingering. In their last battle, thanks to his scheming, the Mountain Sea had achieved a complete victory. Jiao Feng happily told him that her abilities had improved once again and could now help him continue to evolve. Joining the mountains and seas was Xiao Ji's ultimate goal. Once his goal was achieved, the mountains and seas would have nothing to do with him. He even thought of slaughtering the mountains and seas after using Jiao Feng. End of chapter. Chapter 1451. But a person's heart was difficult to fathom, and what was even more difficult to fathom was one's own heart. For Xiao Ji at that time, he did not want to use Jiao Feng, and it was no longer important whether he could evolve or not. Of course, if Jiao Feng had the ability to help him, that would naturally be for the best. But Xiao Ji never waited for that day to come. The mountains and seas suffered a great calamity, and the entire army was almost wiped out. In order to protect his cherished home, he went all out, disregarding life and death. But as strong as he and the mountains and seas were, they were still powerless to resist. His beloved brothers and sisters died tragically in front of him. Xiao Ji could never forget those pairs of eyes filled with despair and unwillingness, and the members of the mountains and seas who fought to the death but were instantly annihilated. He was like a mad dog, trying to protect the shackles that could not be cut off, but in the end, he watched the shackles dissipate little by little. Since then, Xiao Ji once again realized that what family, were all fleeting clouds. Only power was eternal. He fled not because he was afraid of death, nor was it for revenge, but because he had returned to his original reason, his original purpose. He wanted to never look back on the path of evolution. He was even more determined to become the king of the world of evolvers. As long as he ruled the entire evolutionary force, love would be eternal, and the premise of all this was power. The Shanghai army had been mobilized for the final battle, but they had been utterly defeated. Almost all of the high-spirited members had perished, and only a few of them were left. As for the leader, Jiao Feng, although he had managed to escape and was rescued by Tengu, he had been able to erase all of his painful memories due to his abilities. Under Tengu's deliberate manipulation, Jiao Feng, the leader of the mountains and seas, became an ordinary girl and a racer. From then on, the organization of the mountains and seas had nothing to do with her and became a buried memory. And Xiao Ji himself returned to the country that he had founded and regained his ambition. But no matter what, his power of evolution was always at a bottleneck, and he could not continue to break through. Although his body had improved with the help of Jiao Feng, after so many years, without Jiao Feng, his body was deteriorating day by day. Until one day, his feet could no longer support him and he could only sit in a wheelchair. It wasn't until a few years ago that Xiao Ji saw that familiar yet strange face in a car race that he saw again. What was familiar was that they had spent so many years together, going through life and death together. What was unfamiliar was that Jiao Feng had grown up as a little girl. Although she no longer had the heroic spirit of the past, her facial features were more exquisite. Although her appearance would change over time, Xiao Ji could still recognize at a glance that the high-spirited girl on the arena was the leader of the mountains and seas, Jiao Feng. Over the years, Xiao Ji had been inquiring about Heavenly Hound and Nine Phoenix. After all, Nine Phoenix was the only hope for him to evolve again and break through the bottleneck. Unfortunately, after spending a lot of effort, Nine Phoenix and Heavenly Hound seemed to have vanished from the face of the earth. There was no news about them, just like Shanghai, whose name once shook the world. Although he had seen Jiao Feng, Xiao Ji no longer had the shackles that could not be severed. He only had one goal, the power of evolution. He had tried to interact with the woman named Lin Yan, but she seemed to have forgotten everything. She treated herself as an ordinary racer. At that time, Xiao Ji had thought that it was ridiculous. However, in her eyes, he had realized that she was obsessed with racing. No, she was obsessed with money. How could the Jiao Feng he knew be like this? End of chapter. Chapter 1452. At some point, Xiao Ji would have an illusion that this girl was Jiao Feng. If she wasn't, his mental strength could sense the unique evolved aura of Jiao Feng. However, if she was Jiao Feng, there was a world of difference between her words and actions. Although Xiao Ji wanted to use force to force the girl to submit, a trace of affection flashed in his mind, so he couldn't do it. The funny thing was that his two stupid brothers, Xiao Yao and Xiao Zhe, were attracted to this girl. Xiao Yao seemed to have seen through his ulterior motives, so he guarded Lin Yan like a door god. Xiao Zhe and Lin Yan became sworn siblings. Xiao Yao did like Lin Yan, but he wasn't good with words. He hid everything in his heart and never revealed it to anyone. If Xiao Ji hadn't asked, he might never have known that Jiao Feng had saved Xiao Yao's life. When Xiao Yao had lost control of his evolution ability, he had met Jiao Feng. If it hadn't been for Jiao Feng, Xiao Yao would have become a cripple. If he had been unlucky, he would have died on the spot. Xiao Yao knew everything about his big brother, and he also knew why Xiao Ji had joined the mountain and sea realm. Now that he saw Jiao Feng again, even though she had lost all her memories and had become an ordinary girl, given Xiao Ji's personality, he would never let her off. During that time, Xiao Ji hadn't been able to attack Lin Yan because of Xiao Yao and Xiao Zhe. Not long after, Heavenly Hound had appeared with the alias Wang Jingyang. He had accompanied Lin Yan as his childhood sweetheart, so he hadn't had a chance to attack. Even when they had been in the mountain sea realm, Heavenly Hound had been wary of Xiao Ji, especially after Jiao Feng had lost her memories. He hadn't allowed Xiao Ji to get close to Lin Yan. Xiao Ji had once talked to Wang Jingyang in detail and asked him if he was willing to accept the destruction of the mountain sea realm. As long as Jiao Feng could recover her ability and help him evolve again, he would be able to launch a revenge plan. In the past, revenge was no longer important to Xiao Ji. Ever since the destruction of the mountains and seas, his mentality had undergone a heaven-shaking, earth-toppling transformation. His words were merely used to deceive Wang Jingyang. Unfortunately, Wang Jingyang was unmoved. He only said that the mountains and seas were a thing of the past, and there was no need to mention them again. The most important thing right now was for Jiao Feng to live in peace. Ordinary happiness was a luxury for Jiao Feng, and although he had to worry about money every day, it was still a part of ordinary happiness. He would not allow anyone to break it. The turning point had been Pei Yuqing's appearance. The traitor had appeared. Wang Jingyang hated Pei Yuqing to the core. Coincidentally, Pei Yuqing had pursued Lin Yan forcefully, which had crossed Wang Jingyang's bottom line. Finally, Xiao Ji and Wang Jingyang reached a consensus. However, before they could carry out their plan, Lin Yan had married Pei Yuqing and given birth to two children, Pei Qian and Pei Li. With Wang Jingyang and Pei Yuqing behind them, Xiao Ji's plan could only be put on hold for the time being and wait for an opportunity. And this opportunity had been waiting for this day. Even Xiao Ji had no choice. He had to wait for Lin Yan to recover her memories and regain her ability to evolve. Unfortunately, he didn't have much time, and his body was on the verge of collapse. During this period, Lin Yan had also encountered a huge problem. Because of a certain video, she and Wang Jingyang had been exposed, and the two of them had nowhere to hide. Perhaps this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. End of this chapter. Chapter 1453. Since Jiao Feng couldn't recover her memories, he could only forcefully help her recover them. As long as Jiao Feng's abilities returned, she would help him evolve and break through on account of their past relationship. This was also Jiao Feng's promise to him. If everything went smoothly and he successfully evolved and broke through, Xiao Ji was confident that he could fight that person. He could protect Jiao Feng. In the hall, Xiao Ji suddenly opened his eyes, which seemed to contain blue lightning. He entered Lin Yan's mental domain. Xiao Ji wasn't interested in Lin Yan's privacy at all. He needed to help Lin Yan find her lost memories as soon as possible. However, after searching for a long time, Xiao Ji realized that Lin Yan didn't seem to have any memories of the past. It was completely blank. About half an hour later, Xiao Ji relied on the evolutionary power of his mental domain and finally found some clues in Lin Yan's mental world. It wasn't that Lin Yan didn't have this memory, but that this memory had been deleted by her ability. The memory of the past had turned into thousands of memory fragments. It was no wonder that Lin Yan couldn't remember. Even if she was given thousands of years, it would be nonsense for her to recover her memories. At most, some of these memory fragments would appear in her dreams. However, when she woke up, she would think that she had been dreaming. At that moment, Xiao Ji fell into deep thought. He knew a little about Lin Yan's ability through some means, but he didn't know much. Lin Yan seemed to have many abilities, and Xiao Ji had experienced Lin Yan's most terrifying ability. This was also the reason why Xiao Ji had joined the Mountain Sea realm. Lin Yan could help an evolved person break through the bottleneck and evolve to the highest level. She could also eliminate the irreversible disaster that evolution brought to the body. Other than this ability, Lin Yan's body seemed to have an unknown protective barrier that was related to her mental endurance. Once this ability discovered that Lin Yan was suffering from unbearable pain, it would automatically erase this memory and even more. Lin Yan had forgotten everything in the past, which seemed to be caused by this protective mechanism. Xiao Ji observed Lin Yan's mental world. Although her past memories had been deleted, it wasn't impossible for him to restore them. It was just a little difficult. Xiao Ji used his evolved ability to carefully reassemble Lin Yan's memory fragments. These memory fragments were very fragile. If an external force intervened, the slightest carelessness could cause these memories to disappear completely. Once the memory fragments disappeared, it would be impossible to recover them again. After a long time, Xiao Ji saw Lin Yan's memories with Pei Yucheng. Xiao Ji just needed to do something and Lin Yan would completely forget about Pei Yucheng when she woke up. Besides, he could also use this as a basis to change Lin Yan's memories of him. If he succeeded, Lin Yan would only have him in her heart in the future. This thought seemed to be fleeting, but Xiao Ji didn't do it. He didn't change Pei Yucheng's memory, nor did he change Lin Yan's. A few hours later, Xiao Ji's forehead was covered in sweat. The reconstruction and restoration of Lin Yan's memory wasn't going as smoothly as he had imagined. Lin Yan's mental world seemed to contain some kind of evolutionary power that even he couldn't understand. This power could even kick his mental power out of Lin Yan's mental world. End of chapter. Chapter 1454. Fortunately, Xiao Ji hadn't modified Lin Yan's memories or touched the evolutionary power hidden in Lin Yan's mental world. Otherwise, he might have failed at the last step and been kicked out by Lin Yan. However, even with the protection of this power, Xiao Ji had restored a portion of the memory fragments in a short time. During this period of time, Xiao Ji had reassembled most of the memory fragments. However, most of the memories that had been successfully reassembled were rejected by the power of Lin Yan's mental world, which made them extremely unstable. After a period of time, these memories might be broken again because of the power of Lin Yan's mental world. Xiao Ji was deep in thought as he stared at Lin Yan's mental world, which was like a vast galaxy. Based on the current situation, his decision this time should be correct. He needed a long time to help Lin Yan recover her memory fragments. The recovered memory might collapse again because of the protective power of Lin Yan's mental world. Both Lin Yan and he didn't have much time left. Xiao Ji needed to restore Lin Yan's memory as soon as possible. Even so, he couldn't guarantee that Lin Yan would be able to recover her memory. Xiao Ji had another concern. If everything went smoothly and Lin Yan did recover her memory, would her original evolved power be preserved? If the evolved power dissipated, everything would be for naught. While Xiao Ji was continuing to reassemble the memory fragments in Lin Yan's mental world, he sensed an external disturbance and snapped back to his senses. Xiao Ji turned around and saw a man standing outside the door. He was approaching the hall. Xiao Yao. Xiao Ji's face was expressionless when he saw his second brother. His gaze landed on the man. Xiao Ji glanced at Lin Yan, who was unconscious on the sofa, and then at Xiao Ji. What happened to her? Xiao Yao's voice was cold. It has nothing to do with you, replied Xiao Ji. If it was anyone else, it would have nothing to do with me. However, she is related to me, replied Xiao Yao. Hearing that, Xiao Ji smiled and asked Xiao Yao, how did you know that she's here? That's not important, replied Xiao Yao. Xiao Ji pondered this for a moment before saying, Xing Chuan told you. It has nothing to do with Xing Chuan. He just doesn't want you to continue making mistakes, replied Xiao Yao. Continue to make mistakes? The smile on Xiao Ji's face became wider. My brother, you are really stupid. Xiao Ji, just say it. There's no need to beat around the bush. Xiao Yao stared at Xiao Ji. Do you think that I'm hurting her? Xiao Ji pointed at the unconscious Lin Yan. I'm not sure about that. Xiao Yao shook his head and continued, but I'm very sure of one thing. If she was willing, she wouldn't be in such a state right now. Xiao Ji, you're really willing to do anything for power and authority. Back then, you went against your will to join the mountain and sea realm to pursue the ultimate power of evolution, but you failed. She is no longer the 9 phoenixes of the mountains and seas, but why are you still pestering her like a ghost? Let her live an ordinary life, don't disturb her, and don't do ugly things for your dark purposes. Xiao Ji didn't seem to be angry at Xiao Yao's criticism. Instead, he became calmer. He looked at Xiao Ji and sighed naturally, with disdain and ridicule in his eyes. How could I have 2 stupid younger brothers like you and Xiao Zhe? End of chapter. Chapter 1455. I don't agree with your ambition and don't associate myself with you. I think you've lost your sense of self long ago and have become my slave. You want to continue evolving and become the pinnacle of power to rule the entire world of evolution, but can you do it? If you really succeed and become the god of the evolved world, what will this world become? Filthy, frightening. However, Xiao Ji smiled and said, if I become the only king of the evolutionary world, the world will usher in eternal peace. There will be no more wars. This is my ideal world. Peace. Xiao Yao sneered and looked at Xiao Ji. It's fine if you say this to others, but why do you have to pretend in front of me? Third brother doesn't know what you've done all these years, but I do. Xiao Ji did not speak and stared at Xiao Yao with a faint smile. In order to expand your power, you even used your own brother. You killed my friend and annexed his clan. You have long become a puppet of desire. In your heart, there is no family and friends, only power and power. You mean Zhao Xiaotong? Xiao Ji said thoughtfully. As Xiao Ji's voice fell, Xiao Yao's eyes were filled with terrible anger. Xiao Yao, you are too stupid. Zhao Xiaotong and her clan are just using you. Zhao Xiaotong was an innate evolver of the Zhao clan. Back then, she belonged to the Evolver alliance with Xiao Ji. Xiao Yao was on good terms with Zhao Xiaotong of the Zhao clan, and Xiao Yao had developed feelings for her. However, the good times did not last long. Xiao Ji personally killed Zhao Xiaotong and annexed the entire Zhao clan. This was a huge blow to Xiao Yao. From disbelief to anger, he finally lost all faith in Xiao Ji. In order to strengthen his power, Xiao Ji did not even hesitate to use his brother to kill Zhao Xiaotong and annex the entire Zhao clan. It was really an empty hell, and a devil was in the human world. Since then, in Xiao Yao's heart, Xiao Ji was a complete devil. He had long been blinded by desire and could no longer be called a human. Since then, Xiao Yao and Xiao Ji almost never contacted each other. He had questioned Xiao Ji, but Xiao Ji had never given him an answer. "Why do you want to kill the people I care about?" Xiao Yao asked. Xiao Ji smiled. "It's because you are too stupid. Let's not talk about the past. I want to take her away today." Xiao Yao glanced at Lin Yan. "You can't," Xiao Ji said. "Not necessarily." As he spoke, the evolutionary power in Xiao Yao's body erupted in an instant, and the entire manor was instantly filled with a violent aura. Even if Xiao Ji was the most terrifying spiritual evolver in the world, he was not a god and would bleed. Since he was not a god, he would be defeated. However, in the next second, Xiao Yao's body seemed to be controlled by some inhuman power, and he could not move at all. Apart from his consciousness, he no longer had control over his body. Xiao Ji sat in the wheelchair and stared at Xiao Yao quietly. "You can't defeat me. Or, as long as you have any doubts about me, you are doomed to fail. Let's go." After a long time, Xiao Ji's green eyes returned to normal, and Xiao Yao regained control of his body. Indeed, he was no match for Xiao Ji. End of chapter. Chapter 1456. As long as he still had a trace of affection for Xiao Ji in his heart, even if he wavered for a moment, Xiao Ji would be able to seize the opportunity and use his mental strength to control him. That was why Xiao Ji dared to say that he had no hope of winning. Ever since they were young, their parents had died in the war in the world of evolved beings. They had relied on each other for survival. Xiao Ji had taken care of them in place of their parents. Under such harsh circumstances, he hadn't let them suffer the slightest bit of grievance or harm. In Xiao Yao's eyes, Xiao Ji had been kind and gentle back then. He had cared for him and Xiao Zhe. But no one knew when Xiao Ji had completely changed. He had become a tyrant that was not mixed with any water. In the Evolver nation that he had created, he could cover the sky with one hand and had an uncontrollable desire for power. He wanted to expand his territory infinitely and even rule the entire Evolver world. He had even given up the power that he had painstakingly built over many years to find the Mountain Sea Realm and become a member of the Mountain Sea Realm. Xiao Yao had been saved by the 9 phoenixes of the Mountain Sea Realm, so he knew about the magical evolution power of the 9 phoenixes. In Xiao Yao's opinion, Xiao Ji had hidden his true nature because he knew about the 9 phoenixes' power. He had to use the power of the 9 phoenixes to help him break through the final bottleneck of an evolved being. Not only would he be able to heal his damaged body, but once Xiao Ji evolved again, his evolutionary power would truly transform into the deep sea and be immeasurable. Actually, Xiao Yao didn't care whether Xiao Ji could break through the bottleneck and continue to evolve. However, he shouldn't keep hurting the friends he cared about. "Xiao Ji, I might not be able to take her away today, but you should know her identity. I think many people will be worried if she goes missing," said Xiao Yao. Xiao Ji glanced at Xiao Yao and smiled. "You don't have to threaten me. Xing Chuan will probably tell those people that she is here." Xiao Yao stared at Xiao Ji in confusion. Xing Chuan had indeed told him that Lin Yan was in Xiao Ji's manor, but how did Xiao Ji know that Xing Chuan had told him? Furthermore, he was sure that Xing Chuan would tell others. This didn't seem to make sense. "Xiao Yao, let me tell you. Lin Yan is safest with me now." Xiao Ji didn't give Xiao Yao a chance to think. Xiao Yao sneered coldly. You don't have to say that in front of me. She is safer with Pei Yucheng. Pei Yucheng? The corners of Xiao Ji's mouth curled up. Oh. Are you talking about the traitor who caused the destruction of the mountain sea realm? Pei Yucheng? The entire mountain and sea army was wiped out? Xiao Yao frowned slightly. He hadn't known about this. Although his third brother, Xiao Zhe, had mentioned that the destruction of the mountain sea realm might have been caused by Pei Yucheng, Xiao Zhe had refused to mention it. Hence, Xiao Yao hadn't taken it seriously. Be it when Jiao Feng had lost her memory and become a professional racer abroad, or when he had come to the country, Xiao Yao could tell that Pei Yucheng was sincere about Lin Yan. He wouldn't have any intention of harming Lin Yan, nor had he thought of restoring Lin Yan's memory or using Lin Yan's ability to evolve again. Based on Xiao Yao's understanding, Pei Yucheng hoped that Lin Yan could enjoy this ordinary happiness. Besides, what reason did Pei Yucheng have to harm Lin Yan and make Mountain Sea disappear completely? The Mountain Sea clan and the evolved clan behind Pei Yucheng didn't have any conflict of interest. In fact, they didn't even have any interaction. End of chapter. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.